including Campbell and Scott, and now into Union County of East Tennessee. A new tornado warning has extended into that part of the Cumberland Plateau area, just to the north of Knoxville. But the storm now that has the potential to affect not only Leslie County, but perhaps Harlan and Letcher County, and then if it continues on its track, would move into perhaps areas of southwest Virginia here over the next hour. And this is the storm that does potentially have a tornado with it still. The storms are moving off to the southeast at about 40 miles per hour, and there has been some really high indications of large hail with this particular cell. The tornado most likely right along, if there is one, right along the Clay and also Leslie County line. So that would be pushing into and is now pushing into Leslie County. So Hayden, for example, you folks need to be making sure you're in a safe shelter. As far as the hail tracker is concerned, take a look at this. We have indications now. Gosh, this is pretty dangerous stuff of over 2 to 2.5 inch diameter hail now possible with this storm as it moves off to the southeast at about 40 miles per hour. Hence the severe thunderstorm that has the tornado. Very dangerous situation for sure. Wanted to also, how many? Tennis ball size hail was what that would be if we had, the 2.3 inch approximate hail size out of this storm. It's going to be tracking. This is where the hail is now potentially, and it's going to be tracking in that general direction. So it's kind of a forecast. Not that entire area right now has that much hail, but right here is probably where the largest hail is. And still indications are that there could be a tornado with this. What's the probability right now? Meteorologist David Boyd looking at things on radar right now. Possibility of a tornado now is about 39% with this storm. So that's jumped up from the last time we had brought the information to you. It was about 13%, I believe. And so now the probability of a tornado indicated by Storm Track 5 Doppler radar to be about 39%. That's rather high. Also, a lot of cloud to ground lightning strikes just within this storm cell within the past 10 minutes, close to 2,100 cloud to ground lightning strikes. Now, that storm, of course, heading southeast toward perhaps parts of southwest Virginia. And I do want to show you the storm, though, that also has a possible tornado with it now to the north of Lake City, to the near and to the north of Jacksboro, up toward Jellicoe. This part of the storm right here, most likely, if there is a tornado on the ground right now, to the northwest of La Follette. And that storm is kind of taking more of a right turn and heading more in a southeasterly trajectory. And Storm Track 5 Doppler radar indicating a probability of 19% chance that there is a tornado. Now just with the latest scan there, now jumping up to about 25% chance of a tornado as it moves southeast, also at 40 miles per hour. Maybe let's pull back just a little bit and show how that storm is kind of turning to the right as it moves to the southeast, which perhaps would indicate that if that general direction continues, that it might stay away. This is not a guarantee, but it might very well just stay away from Hawkins and also Greene County. Don't let your guard down, but it is starting to turn more down to the south. So this could be impacting perhaps the Knoxville area as we go through the next hour or so, or perhaps the eastern areas of Knox County during the next hour and a half. So that's definitely a dangerous storm. Back to the northwest in eastern Kentucky, notice several clusters of storms also. They kind of just are redeveloping. You'll see these storms head eastward, and then as they come into our area, they have shown some signs of weakening, the ones in southwest Virginia. However, this one here in Leslie County is still going very, very strong, a very dangerous storm there, but they are building back, all right? New storms are firing to the back as we look over the past couple of hours, and another line forming right here. So this isn't necessarily going to be it. We're going to continue to have to track to the northwest and see what develops over the next several hours, and that's why the tornado watch is in effect for most of the area until 8 o'clock. So at this point in time, the only warning in effect for the viewing area is Leslie County, Kentucky, until 4:30. Of course, we will be here bringing you the very latest on Storm Track 5 from the Storm Track 5 Weather Center and on News 5 WCYB. Now back to regular programming.
This is a Storm Track 5 severe weather alert. The Storm Track 5 Severe Weather Alert.
All right, from the Storm Track 5 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dave Dirks with some tornado warnings now in southwest Virginia. The storms in southeast Kentucky are beginning to push into southwest Virginia, as we thought would be the case. We would see either a tornado or severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Lee, Scott, and Wise County. Well, it has been a tornado warning that has just been issued for the northern part of Lee County, still continues for Harlan County, also much of the central and western portions of Scott County and southern portions of Wise County. This tornado warning in effect until 5:30. Storm Track 5 Doppler radar and the National Weather Service indicating a possible tornado. This dangerous storm was located about 9 miles east of Harlan in Kentucky and moving southeast at 40 miles per hour. So here's the storm currently, and the rotating part of the storm right through here, and this is in Harlan County, Kentucky, and it's about 9 miles, a little bit more than 9 miles, the possible tornado off to the east of Harlan. It's pushing down to the east-southeast at about 40 miles per hour. So Everett's definitely is in a dangerous situation currently. You do need to make sure that you are taking precaution to be safe as this storm approaches, seeking shelter in a sturdy structure, preferably in a basement or the lowest level of your home, in an interior hallway, perhaps a bathroom, a hallway, anything. You want to put as many walls between you and the outside of your home. So an interior section of your home away from windows. Now, take a look at this area right through here. That's where our hail core probably is most intense, producing perhaps up to golf ball sized hail. Currently, Doppler radar indicating a 71% probability now right here that we have a tornado. All right, currently now it's jumped up to 76%. So a very dangerous storm is moving through Harlan County and will be moving into Lee County, especially northern Lee County, southern Wise, and western portions of Scott County. That tornado warning is in effect until 5:30 this evening. And notice as we put some of the locators on here, there's St. Charles, there's Pennington Gap, there's Dryden, and this is all pushing to the southeast and will be affecting these areas. Notice there's Everett's. As far as the timing is concerned, let's go ahead and track this and give folks a heads up as this storm now in Harlan County pushes into northern Lee County. Already it's the heavy rain, possible hail, perhaps already into northern Lee County. However, the rotating part of the storm is just now near the Lee County border of bordering Harlan County, and the areas that perhaps could see this tornado would be St. Charles in Lee County around 444, Pennington Gap around 448, Dryden around 452, Duffield around 504, Clinchport around 520, Yuma. Now we're into Scott County, Clinchport and Yuma, and also Gate City around 520 and 523 respectively. So folks, even though this storm is not yet moving into Scott County, or at least the severe part of the storm, residents and viewers already need to be taking shelter in Scott County and Lee County as this tornado warning continues in effect. Again, it's still not into northern Lee County, the hook here that might have the rotation, but the possibility that hail and heavy rain is already pushing into the northern part of Lee County and into the southern part of Wise County. Our storm track hail tracker indicating up to and maybe a little greater than inch diameter hail, perhaps up to quarter to golf ball size hail can be expected with this storm as it tracks from Harlan County into northern Lee County here over the next half hour or so. So residents in Keokee and Dryden, St. Charles, Pennington Gap, Everett's, and then extending into perhaps the southern part of Wise County as well, Big Stone Gap, Appalachia, Andover, there's Duffield, all of this area under a tornado warning currently, and that storm is moving very quickly off to the southeast at about 40 miles per hour. So the warnings, if they continue to be extended eastward and southeastward, if that still holds together, we'd have to then be concerned about moving into northeast Tennessee, perhaps the Kingsport area, and later on into Bristol and Johnson City as these storms propagate pretty quickly at about 40 to 50 miles per hour. Another storm cell that we'll have to watch very carefully is developing in southeastern portions of Kentucky. A tornado warning is also in effect, and Wayne County, Pulaski County, and McCreary County until 5 o'clock. This cell also, separate from the one in Harlan County, has a tornado warning with it in Leslie County and also Perry County. Tornado warning is in effect until 5:15. So we actually have 3 storms now producing possible tornadoes at this hour. The one that's in Harlan and Lee County continuing to push to the southeast. The one affecting Perry and Leslie County until 5:15. And the other tornado warning in areas of southeast Kentucky until I believe it was 5:30 or so. Storm Track 5 meteorologist David Boyd and Chris Michaels helping me track all of this dangerous weather this afternoon. And right now I would like to go to Storm Track meteorologist David Boyd for some more tracking of this dangerous storm now moving into southwest Virginia.
Thanks a lot, Dave. We're going to take a closer look at the storm that is in Harlan County pushing into Lee County. There are multiple dangers with this storm. We have frequent cloud-to-ground lightning. In just this area, 1,300 cloud-to-ground lightning strikes in the past 10 minutes. We have torrential downpours continuing to move through northern Lee County, eastern Harlan County. The potential for large hail, golf ball size hail is possible, and of course the tornado. Now it looks like the tornado is most likely east of Harlan near Everett's, moving towards St. James. So people in St. James, Dryden, Pennington Gap, and Keokee all need to be taking cover for the possible tornado. So again, the possible tornado in here, and then the hail core is here. So the heavy rain and hail already moving into Lee County out ahead of the possible tornado. Now we'll take a look at the latest tracking on this storm, and it looks like there's still about a 76% chance of a tornado okay, so it's now updating. Still about a 46% chance of a tornado. That's still pretty high as this storm moves off to the south and east. So again, to recap, tornado warning for Harlan County, Kentucky until 5, and tornado warning for northeastern Lee, southwestern Wise, and western Scott until 5:30. A separate tornado warning is in effect for Leslie County, Kentucky. So we're going to go to Storm Track 5 Doppler radar for that, and looks like that cell is over northern Leslie County, especially north of Hyden, and that's moving down to the south and east. The other storm that has the potential tornado still further back to the west in Wayne County to the north of Stearns. So we have some time to watch that. Latest update on a hail tracker indicates the hail is increasing in size. It's larger than quarter size, getting closer to $half size in some locations. And this is a forecast where the hail is now and where it's going to be moving. So those around St. Charles, Dryden, and Keokee heads up for the possibility of some large hail. Also can see that large hail around Deep Springs and also moving toward Jasper here over the next several minutes. So a very dangerous supercell thunderstorm that is moving out of Harlan County and moving into northern Lee and western Wise at this time. We're going to go over to Kyle Benjamin, who's been following the latest information, and he has some safety tips for everyone.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. If you are in the area that's under a tornado warning, you do want to seek shelter right now. Stop what you're doing. Get to the lowest floor of your house, away from any windows. If you don't have a basement, get to an interior room, something like a bathroom or a closet. Make sure you take some blankets with you, towels, pillows, anything you've got to add a little cushion and padding there should a tornado hit where you live. Make sure you cover your head, but before you do head to your shelter, grab a flashlight, take a radio if you've got one, a cell phone handy, any water, medication, food you may need to ride out these tornado warnings. Of course, stick with us online, mobile, Facebook, Twitter. We've got it all covered with all this information for severe weather. We are wall to wall right now while these warnings are in effect in Lee, Scott, and Leslie counties there in Kentucky and Southwest Virginia. We're going to go back to Chief Meteorologist Dave Dirks, who is got more information for us. Dave?
Yeah, we were just talking, I was talking to meteorologist Chris Michaels, who's been keeping an eye on things with our social media, making sure we're updating all of that information as well. Also, he told me that the Storm Prediction Center has included now northeast Tennessee in the possibility of a significant tornado, okay? Not that it's a probable indication, but the possibility that any tornado that would develop could be significant. Southwest Virginia and Southeast Kentucky had already been in that area. Now the Storm Prediction Center has included Northeast Tennessee as a possibility of a strong tornado. Again, that's not saying one is going to happen, but it is just indicating that the threat for that has shifted a little bit further down to the south. It had included Southeast Kentucky and Southwest Virginia, and now does include also areas from near Knoxville up toward the Tri-Cities area, the possibility of a tornado, and it could be a significant tornado. So that's a dangerous situation. That's why we're staying on and bringing you the latest information according to the National Weather Service and according to Storm Track 5 Doppler radar. Try to keep you up to date during the course of this afternoon and evening. Here is the storm now that continues to now move into Lee County. And the hook echo right here, notice as David puts on the wind velocity on here that it still is potentially showing that tornado right through this zone right here, but it's now pushing into northern Lee County. So folks in the St. Charles area need to be taking shelter right now, need to have already taken shelter right now. Probably some large hail is moving along where we see the red and the oranges here, the reflectivity on our Doppler radar moving through northern Lee County into northern Harlan County. This is probably where the heavy hail is, the intense lightning and some very heavy rainfall. Then on the rear side of the storm right here, the rear side of our supercell, that is where we may be dealing with the possible tornado in the northern Lee County area of St. Charles. Also included would be perhaps also the Pennington Gap area. David, pull back just a little bit, please, and we'll show folks where Jonesville is in relation to this storm that may have a tornado with it. So there's Jonesville, there's Pennington Gap, there's Big Stone Gap as we head into southern Wise County. All of these areas are under a tornado warning, including the northern part of Lee County, the southern part of Wise County, and into the western part of Scott County. That warning is in effect until 5:30 this evening. Other storms are continuing to develop and kind of build back to the west across portions of Kentucky as well. So we're not only tracking the tornadic cell perhaps in the northern part of Lee County and Harlan County, but also another tornado warning in effect for Leslie County. This storm is moving toward Hyden, is actually over Hyden, and Doppler radar indicated a possible tornado with that not too long ago. And then there's another cell here to the west of Interstate 75, to the northwest of Middlesboro, that also has a tornado warning with it. And as we pull back further, I can show you that we're now seeing the whole line of storms developing westward. So we're seeing, it initially was right in this area. However, we're beginning to see the line of storms build back to the west, just to the southeast of Bowling Green, and that is why this tornado watch is in effect. It's in effect until 8 o'clock this evening, includes all of northeast Tennessee and just about all of southwest Virginia and eastern portions of Kentucky. At this point, the storms have not been affecting the Tri-Cities. However, as fast as these are moving to the southeast at about 40 to 50 miles per hour, those storms that are currently in northern Lee, heading into western Scott and Wise County, will be closing in on the Tri-Cities area here over the next hour or so. So heads up, Kingsport, Bristol, Johnson City, could be some dangerous storms heading our way here over the next hour or two. This is the latest hail tracker, all right, and this indicating that our hail size, at least prediction, has increased. It was about 1 inch to 1.25 inches the last time we got the scan update. Now it looks like the hail size could be up to about 1.5 inches diameter. If I'm thinking right, that would make it about $half size hail. I wouldn't be surprised if it was even larger than that, because this storm, as it came through Leslie County, Bear Branch, on the western edge of Leslie County in Kentucky, an actual storm report of hail a little bigger than 4 inches in diameter. We're talking, I guess, grapefruit size hail, I believe, at that point, similar anyway to that. So some obviously dangerous potential with this storm as it's moving through Lee County and into southern Wise County and also western areas of Scott County. This is the area that is most likely, if we have a tornado with it right now, is most likely to the north of Pennington Gap or near Pennington Gap, northward, Maness, St. Charles, and Turner's Siding. All right, this general area, you can see the hook right through here. That is where our rotation is most significant, and that if there is a tornado on the ground, that is where it is likely occurring right now, near the St. Charles area, Pennington Gap area, and up toward Turner's Siding in northern parts of Lee County, pushing off to the southeast at about 40 miles per hour. Right now, what I'd like to do is go to meteorologist David Boyd in the Storm Track 5 Weather Center with some more information on these storms. David.
Thanks a lot, Dave. I've been monitoring the information coming in from the National Weather Service, and we have been getting reports of very large hail in Kentucky, and we still have the tornado warning that's in effect for Harlan County, Kentucky until 5 o'clock next few minutes, and the tornado warning for Lee, southwestern Wise, and western Scott until 5:30. I also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Letcher County in Kentucky until 5 o'clock. So the most intense thunderstorm right now over western Lee County, and that's the storm that has the potential to produce a tornado. So we're going to go back to Storm Track 5 Doppler radar, and we can show you that the hail core is right in here. That's where the large hail is. But down the back edge of the storm near St. Charles, where that hook is, that's where the tornado is most likely. So let's put the latest storm track on this, and it looks like the storm has still an 81% chance of producing a tornado here in northern Lee County. So that is an extremely large percentage of a chance of that tornado. Just got a new scan in, and it looks like the possible tornado now near Pennington Gap. So again, folks in Pennington Gap, Dryden, Stickleyville, Duffield, Clinchport, you need to be taking shelter right now for this possible tornado. We have multiple dangers with this storm. Of course, the torrential flooding rain is possible. We have the frequent cloud-to-ground lightning. In the past 10 minutes, about 1,000 cloud-to-ground lightning strikes. The likelihood of large hail between an inch and a half in diameter, so that can definitely cause damage to cars and roofs. That's moving through northern Lee County, and the possibility of a tornado that is likely near Pennington Gap. Here's the latest bulletin from the National Weather Service, and it indicated the possible tornado to the northeast of Jonesville and moving east about 40 miles an hour. Just south of east looks like golf ball size hail can be expected as well. Locations impacted include Gate City, Big Stone Gap, Pennington Gap, Appalachia, St. Charles, Duffield, Clinchport, Dryden, Fort Blackmore, Jasper, and Patsonville. And all of these areas are we seeing that storm as it moves down to the south and east. And it looks like that is the most intense thunderstorm in the viewing area at this time. Bigger picture does show the tornado watch in effect for the Tri-Cities. And so if these storms stay on the present path, it is going to be moving toward Kingsport. So heads up in Kingsport and in Sullivan County, that cell in Lee County will be heading our way. Now we're going to go back to Kyle Benjamin with the latest information. Kyle.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Like David mentioned, if you are in any of these areas where there is a tornado warning, or even Sullivan County in Kingsport right now, you may want to prepare to have to seek shelter. But if you are under a tornado warning right now, stop what you're doing and get to shelter. If you don't have a basement, you want to get to an interior room of your home, something like a bathroom, a closet. Don't go to a utility room, because there are a lot of things in there that can conduct electricity. And with the number of cloud-to-ground lightning strikes, there is an increased risk for your house getting hit. So you make sure sturdy, secure area. Take some blankets, some pillows, helmet if you've got it. Anything to keep you safe and cushioned should you be in the path of this tornado. If you've got time, grab a flashlight, grab your cell phone, weather radio if you have it, maybe some water, some medication, a first aid kit just to be safe, and any snacks that you may need as we are approaching the dinner hour, and we will have to ride this out for a little bit of time yet. So make sure you are prepared to stick with your shelter during these warnings. I do want to mention something else. We do have a couple crews up that way in Lee County and Scott County. Callan Gray is out in the field, and Jim Conrad also out there trying to localize this storm and figure out exactly how it's headed towards us to assist the guys in the Weather Center with that latest information. If you do have time, when it's safe, and I emphasize when it is safe, if you feel led, take some pictures of anything you may see out your window, but definitely don't go out into harm's way to try to send us video or pictures for for us to use after the storm has passed by. If you want to go outside, rainbow shot, hail on the ground, sure thing, but please do not risk injury to help us out. But if you can, send us some pictures, weather at WCYB.com, news at WCYB.com. Of course, you can always share it on our Facebook page. You can tweet us, News 5. WCYB, that's on Twitter. Here's a look at our Facebook page. Post them, share them. Let us know what's happening in your area if you can, from your smartphone there in your shelter. If you can tell us what you're hearing, what you're feeling, feel free to do that. Just we want everyone to stay safe during these storms. Chief Meteorologist Dave Dirks is standing by the weather map with an update. Dave, what can you tell us?
Yeah, well, we're first going to just update you on the current warnings that are in effect. Tornado warning is in effect for parts of southeast Kentucky and southwest Virginia until 5:30. A good portion of northern Lee County, southernmost part of Wise County, and a large part of western Scott County under a tornado warning until 5:30 this evening. Also, these storms that are firing up on the west side of the developing weather system are producing possible tornadoes as well. Whitley County now under a tornado warning until 5:30. The yellow indicates a severe thunderstorm warning, which does include the southern part. Well, actually, the severe thunderstorm warning and tornado warning just dropped off here for Harlan County and Letcher County. That's because the dangerous part of the storm has now pushed out of those counties and into southwest Virginia. So also a tornado warning for northern parts of Leslie County and Perry County until 5:15. Check out Storm Track 5 Doppler radar. At this point in time, the dangers of this storm still imminent in northern Lee County and especially now northern Lee County. Here is a look at the storm, though, in northern Leslie County currently. As far as the probability of a tornado with the Leslie County storm right here approaching the Hayden area would be about a 20% chance, according to Storm Track 5 Doppler radar calculations. And the storm in northern Lee County, that is a dangerous storm as well, with a probability of a tornado at this point at 48%, probability of severe weather over 50%, which would include also large hail and also the possibility of damaging thunderstorm winds and some dangerous lightning as well. The rain has already pushed into Scott County to near Gate City. The dangerous part of this cell, though, is still in the northern part of Lee County and pushing into the far western areas of Scott County. And the areas, some communities that would be in harm's way at this point in time include the Duffield area around 5:02. Clinchport around 5:08, Yuma at 5:19, Gate City around 5:20, Weber City around 5:21. Then it would, if continuing to track southeastward, enter northeast Tennessee to include eastern Hawkins County, right near and west of Kingsport, Mount Carmel about 5:23, and Kingsport about 5:24. Do want to emphasize these are not exact times, these are approximations, and the course of maybe the next half hour something could change. It could, veer off course a little bit and may not affect these communities at the exact time that we're talking about. But we do want you to be safe. We want to alert you to the dangers as they move the storms closer to the Tri-Cities, including the Kingsport area within the hour or so. It looks like we'll see some of that activity pushing into the Tri-Cities region. But the warning at this hour, at this time, is for western Scott County and also northern Lee County and into southern portions of Wise County. So traveling along alternate 58 here between let's say the Big Stone Gap area and the Pennington Gap area, also Highway 20, U.S. Highway 23, extending from southern Wise County into western Scott County. Avoid travel right now. Be in your shelter. Seek a place of safety and wait until the storm has passed before trying to venture out and about, because this is a dangerous storm. The hook right here is still very pronounced and is near the Pennington Gap area, also near Dryden. It looks like it's now to the southeast of St. Charles, and there's Jonesville. The intense part of this storm was a little bit off to the northeast of Jonesville in northern Lee County, but the hail tracker continues to be very impressive regarding the potential for some large hail. The last scan we showed you is about 1.5 inch diameter hail potentially with this storm as it's moving from Lee County. And then this is a forecast. It's not right now, for example, the large hail near Clinchport, but the forecast track as it continues to push to the southeast could have upwards of 1.5 inch diameter hail. We're talking about, getting close to $50, maybe golf ball size hail with this storm as it tracks off to the southeast. And as I mentioned, this is the same storm not indicating right now, but this is the same storm that produced over 4-inch diameter hail in Leslie County some time ago. But this storm has continued the hook echo ever since the inception, or at least ever since the tornado became apparent on Doppler radar. It has had a tornado warning with it. So this is a long-lived supercell storm and is still capable of producing a tornado as it moves through Lee County at this hour. So right now I want to go to Storm Track 5 meteorologist David Boyd, who is getting some new information, I believe, right now. David?
That's right. We've been getting reports with some wind damage and also large hail in Lee County. So no surprise, likely you have a severe thunderstorm producing large hail between quarter size and $half size and winds of at least 60 miles an hour, along with the chance of that tornado. And as we zoom in, looks like the tornado is most likely near Pennington Gap. Just got a new update from the National Weather Service, and it says that the dangerous storm is located near Pennington Gap or 9 miles northeast of Jonesville, moving southeast at 35. In addition, large hail in the size of a golf ball or larger can be expected with this storm. So locations impacted include Gate City, Big Stone Gap, Pennington Gap, Appalachia, St. Charles, Duffield, Clinchport, Dryden, Fort Blackmore, Jasper, and Pattonsville. So all of these areas need to be taking shelter right now. Whenever a tornado warning is issued, go to the lowest floor, away from windows. If you don't have a basement, get into an interior room. You want to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Leave mobile homes for a more sturdy structure. And if you're not under the tornado warning right now and you live in a mobile home, plan where you're going to go right now. Cover your head with a pillow or helmet, and keep a flashlight, radio, and cell phone nearby, and stay with us for the latest information. We're going to be on air until the tornado warnings expire. If you lose power, you can use the Storm Track 5 mobile app or go to our Twitter page or our Facebook page. I also recommend that you have a NOAA weather radio. If you do, be sure to keep that turned on as well. So we're going to go back to Storm Track 5 Doppler radar. First, recap the warnings. Still a tornado warning in effect for Leslie and Perry counties in Kentucky until 5:15, and the tornado warning for Lee, Scott, and Wise counties until 5:30. Back on Storm Track 5 Doppler radar, the hook echo continues to show up. And when we talk about a hook echo, it's this right here. And whenever we see that kind of shape on radar, it indicates a possible tornado. So that's why the tornado warning is in effect. And the latest percent chance of a tornado is at 68% in Lee County, heading for western Scott County. So those in Duffield and Clinchport, you need to be taking shelter right now out ahead of this storm. As Dave mentioned, travel not recommended in along Highway 23 or 58 in Scott County, especially the western half, or across much of northeastern Lee County. And everyone in the Kingsport area and Bloomingdale need to stay with us for the possibility of an extension of that tornado warning as it moves down to the south and east. So here's the latest hail tracker, and the hail size continues to increase. We could be seeing golf ball size hail around Dryden and Pennington Gap, and it's heading for Duffield and Clinchport, and eventually down the road, if it keeps its same intensity, heading toward Gate City, Weber City, and Kingsport. So again, this hail tracker indicates where the hail is now and where it's projected to go over the next 30 minutes. Now we have some new storm reports coming in, and Kyle Benjamin joins us now with the very latest. Kyle.
Yeah, just some evidence that we aren't doing this for an exercise. We actually are getting some storm reports in. A picture on Facebook courtesy of Monica Wade in Dryden, Virginia. She's reporting golf ball sized hail. So exactly what Dave just said, the storm capable of producing that golf ball size hail. Here are some pictures of that. A large number of hailstones there, courtesy of Monica Graham Wade in Dryden, Virginia. Something else we want to pass along, this courtesy of the Lee County EMA Director, Alan Bailey. He tells us that Sheriff Gary Parsons is actually out driving around right now. No reports of power outage there in Lee County yet. He's headed on 606. Gary Parsons is towards Keokee. He is saying there's some wind and hail, some minor tree debris, but Sheriff Parsons out there on the roads trying to survey what's going on right now. A tornado warning in effect right now for Lee County. So if you are in Lee County, Scott County, Wise County, you do want to seek shelter right away. It doesn't at this point really matter what that shelter is. Just get to cover. If you do have the opportunity, get inside a bathroom, a closet, something that has 4 sturdy walls around you, away from windows. If you got a basement, great. Please don't head out to take any pictures for us. Wait till that storm has passed. And if you feel led to snap some shots of what you see, you can even share with us online what you're hearing from your shelter. Please do so. You can do that on Facebook, on our Twitter account at News 5 WCYB. Facebook, you can find us News 5 WCYB as well. You can send those pics to news at WCYB or weather at WCYB. But we do want to encourage you to please stay safe and seek shelter.
Moving along as far as the motion, I mean, they aren't going to stick around probably for more than a half an hour to an hour, at least each individual storm. There is more developing upstream, but these storms are moving very quickly and developing back to the northwest as well, I might add. It seems like we continue to see clusters of storms develop in southeast Kentucky and then head down to the southeast. So even though probably the most intense storm now is over the Tri-Cities area of Sullivan County, northern Washington County, Tennessee, the other storms up to the northwest here have potential for severe weather as well. And that's why just coming in now to the Storm Track 5 Weather Service, Storm Track 5 Weather Center, the National Weather Service now telling us that there is a severe thunderstorm warning for some of these storms that are developing upstream. This one includes Wise County, northeast Scott County, large part of Russell County, much of Washington County, Virginia, and a sliver there of Sullivan County. That severe thunderstorm warning just issued and will remain in effect until 6:45. Meteorologist David Boyd from the Storm Track 5 Weather Center, I believe you have some new information.
That's right. The hail threat continues to grow now in Sullivan County, moving into northern Washington County, Tennessee. Let's go back to our hail tracker, and it's indicating the possibility of 1.5-inch hail near Kingsport and Colonial Heights, moving southeastward along Interstate 26 around Gray and Boones Creek, and eventually heading toward Johnson City, Watauga, and Elizabeth. If you live in those areas and you can protect your car, I would do that if you have time before the storm moves in. You definitely don't want to put yourself in danger if the storm has moved into your location. I also want to mention that we have new reports of hail coming into the Storm Track 5 Weather Center. We have a report of baseball-sized hail in Kingsport. That was reported at 5:42, and also a report of trees knocked down, several trees knocked down in the Kingsport area. So no surprise with this supercell thunderstorm pushing through the region. The tornado warning continues for Sullivan County and also Washington County, Tennessee until 6:15. It looks like the worst of the storm has now moved out of Hawkins County and is still hugging the southern portions of Scott County. So we're going to go back to Storm Track 5 Doppler radar, and we're going to put the lightning back on here. Over the past 10 minutes, we've seen more than 1,300 cloud-to-ground lightning strikes and intense lightning display around Kingsport, Colonial Heights, and Gray. And we'll go back live to our Kingsport camera showing the rain continuing to come down, and the likelihood of hail continues with this system. So we're going to take a bigger picture now on Storm Track 5 Doppler radar. See, another severe thunderstorm warning had been issued for Wise County, Scott, Russell, and Washington County, Virginia. And that's for these thunderstorm clusters coming out of Kentucky, the one over Wise County continuing to race southeast, and then the tornado warning in effect for Sullivan County moving into Washington County, Tennessee at this hour. So we're going to continue to watch these storms and bring you the latest severe weather alerts. Right now, we're going to toss back over to Kyle Benjamin with the latest information. Kyle.
And just some things to update you on. Sullivan County is telling us only call 911 if you have an emergency. Don't call their emergency dispatch center for things like trees down or power outage. Only if you have a legitimate emergency should you be calling 911. If your power is out, call your power provider and let them know, and they will have someone out there just as soon as they can. Of course, a reminder, we've been saying this off and on for quite some time now. Take shelter now if you can. Lowest structure of your house, away from windows. If you don't have a basement, get to an interior room like your bathroom, closet, pantry. Stay out of a utility closet because there are some things in there that can electrocute you. If you got to get in a bathtub, get in a bathtub, but take some towels, blankets, pillows, a helmet if you got it with you. Anything you may need to ride out this warning for the next 20 or so minutes. If you need some food, some water, things like that. Do want to let you guys know we are streaming this coverage on our website, WCYB.com. So if you do need to step away from a television to take shelter, grab your laptop, grab your iPad, grab your phone, dial us up, WCYB.com, and you can follow along as we do track these storms as they head into Kingsport and point south. ETSU did sound their emergency siren not too long ago, so if you are on campus there, please seek shelter. Actually, if you're anywhere under a tornado warning, please seek shelter right now. Don't go outside if you don't have to, but we will take pictures when it's available. If it's safe for you to send those pictures to us. We are getting lots of reports of hail. Preston Ayers telling us it's dark and stormy and gray right now. No hail now, but we are getting a lot of reports of heavy hail in Kingsport. My brother-in-law sent me a picture, baseball-size hail in his hands. We are going to toss it back to the Weather Center right now, guys.
Just got a new scan on Storm Track 5 Doppler radar, so let's go straight there. And I'm seeing a pretty strong signature of a tornado in between Colonial Heights and Gray. So you zoom in a little bit closer, you can see where the green and the red come together around Fordtown, near Gray, Spurgeon. That's where the tornado is most likely moving off to the south and east. So this is an urgent situation, a dangerous situation. Take shelter now in Gray, Oak Grove, and Boones Creek, areas near Daniel Boone High School, and near Spurgeon as the storm moves down to the south and east. Tri-Cities Airport getting hit with some very large hail at this time. But again, looking at our Storm Track 5 velocity scope, it shows the wind direction. And anytime we see green next to red, bright green or bright red, that indicates rotation in the storm and indicates the possible tornado. So Dave, I'll toss it back over to you. It looks like the storm continues to intensify and still has some very large hail with it at this time.
Very large hail, and the amazing thing about this storm is the fact that when we first started tracking this supercell, when it developed in southeastern portions of Kentucky, in Clay County and Leslie County, it has had this rotation and the tornado signature on Doppler radar from the get-go. I mean, this thing blossomed up into a strong supercell storm and has continued producing tornado warnings all the way through from southeast Kentucky, southwest Virginia, and now affecting a good portion, or at least part, of the Tri-Cities metro area here.
We have golf ball-sized hail in Gray now.
All right, so Preston was talking about the dark skies in Gray, and now we can confirm that we actually do have some golf ball-sized hail falling in the Gray area here in northern parts of Washington County, Tennessee, running right along Interstate 26, and there is Highway 11E as well. Heading into Johnson City, there's Jonesboro. So the core of hail currently where we have this golf ball size hail occurring in the Gray area. The storms are moving to the southeast at about 40 miles per hour. So Oak Grove, Boones Creek, the Green Valley area, Princeton, Watauga, Johnson City Mall is right here. Of course, this is the Johnson City metro area. There's Pinecrest, there is Central, there's Elizabethton. This area entirely has that potential for some large hail. And now we have hail falling at the Tri-Cities Regional Airport. David, did it say what kind or the size of that hail?
I haven't seen the size, but the automated report coming in saying hail is falling.
So official reports now from the Tri-Cities Airport, automated surface observation system that records the weather information, also can determine if there is hail falling. And now we do have at least confirmation of that, according to that weather station at the Tri-Cities Airport, that hail is falling. So dangerous weather continues to rake areas of northern Washington, a good portion of the southern and eastern part, southeastern parts of Sullivan County, and might just advise our friends in Carter County as well. No warning right now, but there definitely is the potential for severe weather here within the next 15 minutes to a half an hour in Carter County as well, because this storm is moving off to the southeast. Watauga, Elizabethton, Hunter, also there's Central. So this whole area is going to experience obviously some very heavy rain, and also the likelihood, at least within the core, this bright red area, that's where the possibility of the hail will persist as it settles on down to the southeast. Looking live now from our Bank of Tennessee cam in Johnson City. This is north state of Franklin, looking in the direction to there. This would be north, so this would be back toward the northwest a little bit. So the dark skies obviously pointing to the likelihood that we're going to see some stormy weather affecting this part of Johnson City very shortly as the storms are moving southeastward toward JC. Heads up there. Tornado warning continues in effect for this area, especially now for the north and east parts of Washington County, Tennessee. It does include the gray area. It does include Johnson City. It does include Jonesboro. It also includes a large part of Sullivan County, Bluff City, Blountville, Tri-Cities Airport. It does appear that the tornadic potential decreasing quite a bit for eastern Hawkins County as the storm shifting to the southeast, and also decreasing most likely also for southern portions of Scott County. However, we also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. The tornado warning until 6:15, but the most recent warning is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 6:45, and this does include a large part of Wise County, northern and eastern Scott County, a large part of Russell County, and also the central western portions of Washington County. Let's go ahead and track that cell responsible for the severe thunderstorm warning now in southwest Virginia, just to kind of give folks in this area a heads up. But before we do that, we're going to take a look at the wind velocities within this storm, and as David pointed out, right in here you can see the strong winds opposing one another, and when you get that what we call tight little couplet of the opposing winds, and you can be pretty certain that you got rotation within the thunderstorm, and that then will then lead possibly to a tornado. Not all the time do you get a tornado when you see strong rotation, but when we say there's a Doppler radar indicated tornado, that is what we look for, and it is definitely there, bright and very notable here in the northern part of Washington County. So zoom in a little bit tighter again back to where that was, and let's see some of the communities that are potentially in that threat for a tornado, and just to give some idea of where that would be in some of the areas under fire that are in danger for this storm. Boones Creek right here, there's Oak Grove, there's Gray, there's Boring, there's Boone. This is Interstate 26, Johnson City, Green Valley, Piney Flats, 11E right through here, and that does also, the tornado warning extends into the Sulphur Springs area as well, but it's this zone right here that most likely has if there is a tornado, the tornado itself would be in that zone, and this is the area that would have the possibility of the larger hail. As we just had a report, the Tri-Cities Airport has had hail, is reporting hail right now. We've had reports of golf ball size hail in Gray within the past few minutes. We had some few minutes before that of baseball size hail in the Kingsport area, and this area that is moving with our storm to the southeast would take the possible large hail through areas from Boones Creek to Green Valley, maybe near Johnson City, Watauga. There's Sycamore Shoals Hospital in Elizabethton. So this whole zone is possibly going to receive some large hail as that cell continues to move off to the southeast at about 40 miles per hour. This is again a live look from the Johnson City area, North Johnson City. We're looking from the Bank of Tennessee northward in Johnson City. Obviously some very dark clouds. No rain, at least nothing heavy right now in North Johnson City along north state of Franklin, but there are definitely some very heavy downpours and some large hail with the storms that are just to the northwest of the Johnson City area. So a tornado warning continues for parts of Washington County and Sullivan County in Tennessee until 6:15, a few minutes from now.
Dave, we have a confirmed tornado.
We do have a confirmed tornado?
Near Oak Grove.
Okay, so we do now have a confirmed tornado on the ground, right? Or just a report from earlier?
The National Weather Service says at 6:03, Doppler radar was tracking a confirmed tornado over Oak Grove or near Johnson City. This Doppler radar showed the tornado moving southeast at 35 miles an hour. So this just came in from the National Weather Service, a confirmed tornado near Oak Grove moving to the southeast. Dave.
All right, so that was the area that we had showed you a few minutes ago of this dangerous storm. We were talking about that area of shear right here, and this is exactly where we were talking about. there's Spurgeon, there's Oak Grove, where we've had a confirmed tornado now in areas of northern Washington County. There's Boones Creek. Folks, you really need to be taking shelter. Very serious storm. This is moving into the Johnson City area of Washington County. A tornado warning is in effect. All right, extended now. I was telling you a few minutes ago, while we're probably going to need something for Unicoi, Carter, and Southern Johnson, and that now has been extended. The tornado warning has been extended until 7 o'clock this evening for Carter County, Southern Johnson County, and northern Unicoi County, as well as eastern parts of Washington County, Tennessee. That warning until 7 o'clock this evening. So that is giving our viewers in areas that aren't necessarily getting the stormy weather now that this dangerous storm is moving in your direction. You need to be seeking shelter immediately. You should already have sought shelter, obviously, in Sullivan County, northern Washington County. There is the latest look at perhaps where our tornado is currently. As we
says reports of a tornado northeast of Gray moving southeast.
All right. Report, David just said a tornado report near just to the southeast of Gray, and it's moving to the southeast at about 35 miles per hour. So this is a confirmed report of a tornado that was indicated and confirmed near the Oak Grove area, near Johnson City and to the southeast of Gray, and that storm is moving to the southeast at about 35 miles per hour. So once again, we are looking from the bank of Tennessee in the north part of Johnson City. We are looking northward, and notice this right here. Very ominous looking clouds. Definitely some stormy weather beginning to affect especially areas of North Johnson City and then northward and into Sullivan County, and also pushing into parts of Carter County right now, where that tornado warning has been extended until 7 o'clock this evening. So we are dealing now with definitely a dangerous, we've obviously been talking about some dangerous weather, but we actually for the first time now can confirm that there is a tornado with this storm in the northern eastern parts of Washington County, Tennessee, and that warning will remain in effect until 7 o'clock. It looks like these areas here and parts of Scott and Hawkins County, probably the danger of a tornado in this area with this cell is coming to an end, but the danger now expanding southeastward into the mountains of northeast Tennessee, as well as the Johnson City metro area presently. The storm is near Gray and moving to the southeast, and has the likelihood, at least now we can say at least a 48% probability of a tornado. But like we said a few minutes ago, National Weather Service is able to confirm a tornado on the ground near Oak Grove. That was a few minutes ago, and that storm is moving off to the southeast at about 45 miles per hour, 35 miles per hour, I'm sorry. The hail tracker right now showing a little decrease in the intensity perhaps of the hail. That, though, is no indication that we need to let our guard down. Okay, that's no indication of that, but it looks like up to maybe penny to quarter-size hail with this storm currently falling here from near Piney Flaps. There's Bluff City, there's Watauga, and then back in this zone right through here is probably where, if there is a tornado on the ground right now, it would be occurring right here to the near and to the northwest of Johnson City and pushing to the southeast at about 35 miles per hour. So it does appear that the danger of the tornado has exited the Kingsport area and is going to stay well south of the Bristol area, though our viewers in Johnson City are in danger of some possible damaging winds, maybe even a tornado. And on the north side of this supercell thunderstorm is where the likelihood of up to maybe quarter-size hail is occurring right now. So in Carter County, there's Biltmore community, there's Elizabethton, and that extends all the way down toward the Hampton area along 19E, and then also extending back to the west toward the Johnson City area. There's the Johnson City Mall, there's Princeton, there's Boones Creek, and right here is our Hook Echo. That is where the possible tornado is right now in the Johnson City area, still showing fairly substantial wind shear, possible rotation within this storm as we look at the wind velocity outside of the circle. That's showing us where the intense rain is, and inside that circle we're looking into a storm and seeing how the winds are moving away or from the radar site itself, which is in Morristown. So when you get the green and the red like this, that's when we're really concerned about the possibility of rotation and the possibility of a tornado. Like, as we mentioned, has already been confirmed in the Oak Grove area. Don't know of any damage at this point, but we do know there was a tornado on the ground near Oak Grove in northern Washington County, near Johnson City, not too many minutes ago. Storm Track 5 meteorologist David Boyd certainly been tracking this with me, and can you give us some more information on what we have going on right now?
Thanks a lot, Dave. We will just recap the tornado warning that's in effect for southern portions of Sullivan County, northeastern Washington County, Tennessee, northeastern Unicoi County, all of Carter County, and extreme southwestern Johnson County. This warning in effect until 7 o'clock this evening. And as we go back to our Storm Track 5 Doppler radar, we can show you that we are watching this storm kind of cycle. Sometimes it weakens a little bit, and sometimes it pulses back up, but we still can see a hook right in here, and that indicates the potential danger of a tornado moving into the Johnson City area. And so we're going to be watching that very closely. The lightning over the past 10 minutes, 235 cloud-to-ground lightning strikes. So this is a very intense thunderstorm. Heavy rain could produce some flooding. Still has the potential to produce quarter-size hail, and could also produce damaging wind gusts. Even if you don't see a tornado, there's still going to be damaging wind gusts of 60 miles an hour or greater, and of course the possibility of that tornado in the Johnson City area. We're now going to go to PJ and Julie at this time with some more information, with some more storm reports coming in. Guys.
Thanks so much, David, and good evening to you. Julie Newman here along with Paul Johnson, joining you for this team coverage of this tornado event happening in our area. We certainly have all hands on deck for this event. Behind the scenes, you haven't seen him, but meteorologist Chris Michaels is also gathering information to help out the Storm Track 5 weather team, in addition to Chief Meteorologist Dave Dirks and, of course, meteorologist David Boyd. And we have reporters all over the place, PJ.
We certainly do. Jim Conrad's up in Lee County. We're hoping to have a phone report from Jim very soon. He's seen some damage up there. Rebecca Pepin is on her way to that possible sighting of a tornado at Oak Grove. And we also have Callan Gray working in Wise County, and our own Kyle Benjamin is now headed to Johnson City as well. So we do have it covered. And we've talked about hail coming in Sullivan County. I want to give you an idea. This is a golf ball. So golf ball size hail is that big. A baseball size hail is almost twice that big. Imagine that hitting your car or your window. It wouldn't be a good experience. So that's why we're putting these warnings out there, because it can be very dangerous.
Yes, certainly can be very dangerous out there. If you can, if you have a car you can put in a garage, go ahead and pull that in. Actually, I had got a tip earlier tonight about people who have their trash can bins out already to be collected in the morning. This is not a good time to have those out. They can be picked up by the wind and tossed around, so go ahead and bring those in if you can. Anything that you have out and about, that if it's safe to go out there and bring them in, do that. It can eliminate some potential dangers out there, because this is a very dangerous situation at this time. Yeah,
we do have some safety tips to pass along to you. Tornado safety, the latest facts here for you. Always go to the lowest floor. That is the standard if you know a tornado is headed your way.
That's right. And also make sure you're not near any windows. Get to a central point in your house. Maybe a closet or a bathroom is a good place. Also under a staircase, if you have a two-story house, is a good place to be. Anywhere where you're not near the windows.
All right, it sounds like Dave has some more breaking news and severe weather coverage, so we'll head back to you, Dave.
All right, thanks, Julie and PJ. We're going to kind of go back to Doppler radar and let folks know where that storm is currently, the one that had a tornado reported with it not so long ago in the Oak Grove area, which is right here. And then currently the potential tornado would be in this zone in the Johnson City area. There's the Johnson City Mall, there's Princeton, there's Watauga, there's Biltmore. Now we're into Carter County. So this hook echo is moving from northeastern Washington County, Tennessee, near Johnson City, into the northwest part of, or the western part of Carter County. So viewers in Elizabethton obviously need to take cover, as well as the viewers in all of the Johnson City metro area as well. Still a very pronounced signature here regarding that possible tornado, which would be in the vicinity of Watauga, and then toward central in right along the Washington and Carter County line, moving to the southeast at about 35 miles per hour. So we can say with some certainty that it appears the threat of the tornado has ended now for the Boones Creek area, the Gray area, the Fall Branch area. It looks like the Jonesboro area, it's going to stay just off to the north and east of you folks. Also Telford and Ducktown. It does not appear that that storm is going to be moving in your direction, but it is moving into the direction of northern and western parts of Carter County, southern portions of Johnson County as well. There is a tornado warning there. The higher probability of hail is right through this zone, extending from southeastern most parts of Sullivan County near Piney Flats, and then down into Carter County, as well as the Johnson City area of east and northeast Washington County. Probability now, according to Storm Track 5 Doppler radar, that we have a tornado on the ground or a tornado associated with the storm is at well, that seems a little bit odd. It went from 24%. I don't think we would be talking about a 0%. That's just not the case, all right? There is a possibility that there is a tornado, not a guarantee, but we've had confirmed reports of one near Oak Grove. And there we go. Let's go ahead and see what that says. Probability of a tornado right now is about 12%. That's still a pretty substantial percentage chance that there's a tornado with this cell as it moves to the southeast at 35 miles per hour. One thing we have noticed, though, within the past 15 minutes or so, the colors that indicate the larger hail, maybe 45 minutes ago, maybe an hour ago, it was showing, you know, purple and white, all right, the core of this hail. It seems to have diminished somewhat. We're down to the green, which is usually less than, you're talking less than quarter size, maybe about nickel size or penny size hail is what the Storm Track hail tracker is indicating presently with this storm cell. Other storms, though, in addition to the ones now racing through northeast Washington, Carter County, and also southern Johnson County, the northern part of Unicoi County, all under that tornado warning until 7 o'clock. But there are also some tornado warnings that are getting close to Hancock County in northeast Tennessee, and this tornado warning in effect for much of Claiborne County, which is this one currently. That's Claiborne County, and then we have Union County and also Granger County. This little area right here also under a tornado warning until 6:45, and severe thunderstorm warnings continue for Wise County, northern Scott, Russell, good portion of Washington County, and then a little bit of Sullivan County, including the Bristol area. That's until 6:45. Let's go ahead and take a look at that storm as it is moving through southwest Virginia. Our hail tracker, there's the one we just showed you. This is the one that has the severe thunderstorm warning with it, and this is where the possibility of maybe some dime up to quarter-size hail. Right now it's just indicating maybe half-inch diameter hail, which would be under what we classify as severe hail. You get up to about an inch in diameter is when it's classified as severe. Nonetheless, that severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. That does include Scott County. Let's take a look at that one in Scott County a little bit closer here and track that into the future here. If you don't mind, we'll take a look at this pretty intense little cell in northern Scott County and eastern Wise County, and there's Lebanon and Russell County, and this is taking a beeline to the southeast, moving also real quickly at about 35 miles per hour. So this would include the Mendota area, Bristol, Greendale, Abingdon, and then toward the South Holston Lake, the Observation Knob area in Shady Valley in Johnson County, and also Damascus in Washington County, Tennessee. So that is where this storm is moving. Heaviest activity with this is in the Nicholsville area, Fort Blackmore area up toward Dungannon. At this point in time, a little bit of wind shear showing up with this, but at the present, the National Weather Service has not indicated that this storm is tornadic or has that capability, but we are under a tornado watch, entire area until 8 o'clock. And any severe thunderstorm, whether it's indicated or not by radar, can occasionally produce a tornado, even if there is no warning. So we do want to put that out there for you, as it is a rather intense cell and is taking on at least some signature here, some hook signature there in the northern part of Scott County. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. The storm out to the south now, further to the south, is where we still have the couple of tornado warnings. This one here, there's Sneedville. So this is where the Storm Track 5 western part of the viewing area begins. Here we're going through Claiborne County. There's Tazewell, and notice we still have that classic signature of the wrap around the hook where we have that rotation. This is where the possible tornado warning tornado is now in Claiborne County. moving to the southeast at 35, so that perhaps would be heading toward Hamlin County as it continues to move to the southeast and then extends back westward. So that activity would be heading, to our southwest, maybe toward the Knoxville area. But this cell that has the tornado warning with it could possibly be moving into the western part of our viewing area within the next hour or so. Currently, the projection is around 623 Washburn. This is still not within the viewing area. Rutledge, Talbot, Morristown would be approximately at 645. Russellville, White Pine, and Bainbury. So we're talking it gets up, pretty close here into Jefferson and Cocke and maybe even to the western part of Greene County, that storm. So we do want to give a fair warning that is heading that way over the next hour or so. But most imminent danger currently is in northeastern Washington County, Tennessee. And again, it's right here where we have that possible rotation and the possible tornado, which is near central, now near actually pushing basically out or getting ready to push out of Washington County, Tennessee. But there's Elizabethton, and there is Valley Forge, and this whole area, as well as Elizabethton and Biltmore and Watauga and Hunter and Blue Spring, Wilbur, all under the possibility of not only some hail, but also in this area, as this pushes down to the southeast, of that possible tornado continuing to move to the southeast through Carter County. Like we had talked about not too long ago, about 15 minutes, 20 minutes ago, we did have a confirmed tornado on the ground in the Oak Grove area near Johnson City. That's the cell, or that's the part of the storm that's now
Holston Valley.
Right there. So near the Holston Valley, heading over South Holston Lake. That appears to be where the possible tornado would be right now. Right now in this general area, moving to the southeast through Bristol, Virginia, and Tennessee. Some really heavy rain, but as David was talking about, this would probably be the general area near Holston Valley that we would be thinking that this possible tornado would be at this point. Of course, anywhere the tornado warning is in effect, we want you to be in your place of shelter, but at this point, that would be the best indication where that tornado warning or tornado potentially is at this hour. So right near Bristol, Tennessee, and South Holston Lake, and extending up into Washington County, Virginia as well. Around 7:01 or so, we expect this dangerous part of this storm to be affecting the Shady Valley area. Around 7:14, Mountain City. Neva around 7:15, 7:25 for the trade area, and then as we head into North Carolina, Zionville around 7:26 and around 7:37 for Todd. All right, so that is the storm that has the possible tornado at this hour. The tornado warning continues in effect, I guess, for a few more minutes yet. How's the Carter County? Let's go to the Carter County storm.
Now a tornado warning for Avery County.
Okay, so the storm that was in Carter County and has since moved into Avery County. All right, I think we could say Carter County, you're clear of that tornado potential now. However, we just got this from the National Weather Service that a tornado warning is in effect for Avery County, North Carolina. This warning in effect until 7:30 this evening. So for yet another half hour or so, this storm is going to be moving through Avery County. There's Newland in Avery County. Here's Watauga County as we travel up to the Boone area. You're not in that tornado warning. But just to kind of give us a little perspective on where this storm is, it's really right through the middle part of Avery County now. And there's Banner Elk, Linville, and the Grandfather Mountain area, Cross Snore. This all is associated with that tornado warning as it slides to the southeast. Probably this general area of Avery County around the Newland, Linville area is where the rotation is is more significant and could potentially still have a tornado with it as it moves to the southeast. But like I was saying, it does appear that Carter County now in the clear regarding that storm as far as any tornado is concerned. But the storm that's been moving through the Bristol area could clip the far northeast part of Carter County as well, where that tornado warning is in effect for the northeast part of Carter County. This is for the storm that's been coming through the Bristol area, and this is the storm that's moved from Carter County now into Avery County. Tornado warning for the Sullivan, Carter, Johnson County area until 7:30, but the new one here for Avery County is in effect also until 7:30. The other areas of concern are just to the west of Greene County, near Morristown. We do have a tornado warning in effect. This for Hamlin County, at least the southern part of Hamlin County. This also includes Granger and Jefferson County. A tornado warning is in effect until 7:30 this evening as well. Why don't we go investigate this area, because these storms are heading to the southeast as well and could be producing some damaging thunderstorm winds, in addition to the possibility of some isolated tornadoes. So Morristown, you definitely are getting hit pretty hard right now. Need to be taking shelter in these areas. This extends back to just north of Jefferson City, to the north of Mascot, but also beginning to push into western Greene County. Not any warning for this shower thunderstorm activity, but around Mossheim and extending almost to Greenville. We do have some showers and thunderstorms, though the more intense of the activity is right now near Morristown, but these are moving to the southeast, so we'll have to keep an eye, perhaps western, parts of Greene County, maybe Cott County, having a warning issued for you folks here over the next 15 minutes to a half an hour. At this point, though, a tornado warning is in effect for Hamlin County, as well as parts of Granger County in northeast or east central portions of Tennessee. Those severe storms extend all the way back west toward the Knoxville area. At this time, I think what we'll do is let Storm Track 5 meteorologist David Boyd give us kind of a brief overview of what we've got going right now and talk about some of that hail that continues to fall with these storms.
Thanks a lot, Dave. Still tracking these storms that could be producing some large hail. So let's go right to our Storm Track 5 hail tracker. And it looks like the storm in Avery County is weakening, at least in the terms of hail. Still a tornado warning in effect. And the storm that is over eastern Sullivan County looks like it's intensifying again. Possibility of quarter-size hail around Observation Knob, moving along Highway 421 into Shady Valley and Mountain City. So take shelter right now in those locations. And we're also watching the storms back to the west, as Dave was talking about, near Morristown, and a very intense storm to the northwest of Knoxville, near Lake City, the possibility of some $quarter to $half size hail in that storm. So let's take another look at Storm Track 5 Doppler radar. There is another intense cell just to the northwest of Abingdon near Greendale. That's going to be moving into Abingdon soon. It looks like it has some very heavy. Okay, we had some report of baseball-sized hail in Churchill earlier today coming in. Thanks for that report. So the tornado warning in effect for Washington County, Virginia, including Abingdon, and for eastern Sullivan County, extreme northeastern Carter County, and especially now for Johnson County as that storm continues to move off to the south and east, and will shift down into Avery County. Looks like the most intense portion of that storm is over Sugar Mountain and Grandfather at this time, also moving down to the south and east. So we're going to take another live look downtown Bristol. Still have some ominous looking skies as we had that storm move through the region a little bit earlier. Just a reminder of some tornado safety tips. When a tornado warning is issued for your location, go to the lowest floor away from windows. If you don't have a basement, get to an interior room. You want to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Leave mobile homes for more sturdy structure. Cover your head with a pillow or helmet, and keep a flashlight, radio, or cell phone nearby. You can use the Storm Track 5 mobile app for the latest, or you can check our website or the Facebook and Twitter pages. We're putting lots of information on there, and we will continue to stay on the air until all the tornado warnings have expired. So to recap, the tornado warnings that are in effect at this time: southern Washington County, Virginia, eastern Sullivan County, extreme northeastern Carter County, most of Johnson County until 7:30, and Avery County until 7:30. We're now going to go over to PJ and Julie with the very latest on the damage reports region. Guys.
Thanks so much, David. You know, it's really important that we're on the air right now to let everyone know about these storms and the possible dangers that are with them. And we want to let you know that we know American Ninja is supposed to be on right now. It started at 7 o'clock. It's a very popular show, but we feel like it's our responsibility to stay with you, to bring you the most up-to-date information until the danger passes.
And I did just get off the phone with News 5's Rebecca Pepin. She's just off Highway 36 in Washington County in the Wilshire neighborhood near Oak Grove. She said the neighborhood was hit very hard, and we're attempting to get her live shot up and ready in moments, so be patient for that. In fact, just as I say that, by the magic of television, it sounds like Rebecca Pepin is ready to join us via FaceTime from near Highway 36.
Ah, we lost her.
Oh.
You know, it's really hard in this kind of weather with
Yeah.
the wind to maintain
Yeah.
a signal. So we are working hard. Okay, we're just in again.
We're going to try it again. Hello, Rebecca. Can you hear us?
Okay, well, show you then what I can see. Can you hear me, guys? All right, I'm just going to go ahead and survey the damage. We're in the Wilkes in Gray, Tennessee, and apparently a lot of damage in this neighborhood. We're just getting here and checking out the damage. Lots of trees down, lots of people out surveying the damage. I've seen hail damage. I've seen siding ripped off homes. I'm just going to walk around here and let you get a look. I walked through one neighborhood. They said there was a 15-year-old tree in the backyard, completely down. All right, this gentleman owns this camper. All right, let's take a look at that camper. Tell me your name, sir.
It's Craig Waddell.
All right, Craig, I know you and your family were safely in the basement. You didn't hear a thing.
I had come upstairs and I'd seen the lightning hit across the street and I saw the wind coming, so I ran downstairs. Came back out about a minute later. On our playground that was in the backyard is about 2 yards down now. The fence is gone. I called my father-in-law who lives next door, and he said, I told him about the playground. He said, well, have you seen your camper yet? And I said, no. So I came out the front, and this is what I saw. But I didn't hear a thing.
All right, what was your reaction when you came out and surveyed
Just
your
shock.
whole
I mean,
neighborhood?
everybody was coming. There's damage all up and down the street, so kind of hard to believe. Didn't think it'd ever hit here.
Yeah, and are you insured?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Thank goodness,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And thankfully your family's okay, nobody hurt.
Everybody's safe.
That's right.
Well, actually, our family was down the bed. They never even knew anything was going on
Oh, well, that's
until I came down and told them. So,
Good.
and so, yeah, and then we all came out and saw.
okay. Well, I'm glad everyone's safe. Just going to show our viewers again just what happened out here. So we think high winds.
Yeah,
And it's
definitely happened. That's about.
the weather people know best if it's been confirmed a tornado, but definitely big time high winds out in this neighborhood here in Wiltshire. I'm going to take another little walk around so you guys can see everything happening. All right, they've got the road closed off here now, so I would advise if you live in this area, it's just people who live here only, no through traffic. So don't be heading out to Gawk, is what they're telling people. They don't want a lot of people in this neighborhood. Snapped off. That's not a teeny tree either. Check it out. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to keep on walking down the road because it's...
Go to Dave.
Pepin via FaceTime. We appreciate your patience with those pictures. Now, normally we don't like to do FaceTime unless it's an important weather event like this, and I think that was well worth the little technical difficulty we had there to show you the damage in that Wilshire neighborhood near Gray, Tennessee. Wow, houses, trees, a camper destroyed.
Yes, pretty severe storms going on right now in scattered parts of our region. This is very far-reaching. We're going to check in now with Chief Meteorologist Dave Dirks for the very latest. Dave?
Yeah, some very scary, dangerous thunderstorms indeed that have been moving across the area. We want to kind of focus our attention right now on the storm that's moving through Washington County, Virginia. This is something that we've been keeping an eye on. It hasn't been the focus necessarily because the tornado warning was primarily for the cell coming through Bristol, heading through Sullivan into Johnson County. However, meteorologist David Boyd and I have been looking inside the structure of this northern part of the storm in Washington County, Virginia, and we are noticing a little bit of circulation as well here in the Abingdon area. There's Virginia Highlands, Abingdon. We're looking at this storm pushing to the southeast as well. There's Wendell, there's Evergreen Hills, the Johnson Memorial Hospital back here along Interstate 81. This storm is pushing to the southeast as well. Not as strong as the one further to the south that came through eastern Sullivan County, the Bristol area a little while ago, but we do just want to let you know that we're kind of concerned. No at this point, I don't think Abingdon, the tornado warning is mainly for the southwest part of Washington County, Virginia, but just keep your heads up here. You should be in a safe place here with this storm coming through the Abingdon area as well. There is a tornado warning for Washington County, Virginia until 7:30 this evening, also into eastern parts of Sullivan County, into Johnson County as well. This storm has largely, or actually has moved out of Sullivan County and is right in the smack dab in the middle of Johnson County. So viewers in Mountain City, Shady Valley along Highway 421, for example, should be in your safe place as well. Lowest level of your home, interior rooms such as a hallway or closet or bathroom, best place to be. Notice the flare up with the purples showing up when we have the little radar sweep go around, and that indicating where the heaviest rain is, and also the possibility of where the larger hail would be as well. But the signature that would include the possibility of a tornado with this in Johnson County is in this general area right here. So that's pretty close to Mountain City and Shady Valley, and moving toward the North Carolina state line. The eastern part of Sullivan County, at least as far as that storm is concerned, looks like that danger of a tornado has come to an end, at least for the time being. All right, so we're getting some new information. A little while ago, we were talking about the potential for that severe storm near Hamlin County, near Morristown, that we were going to keep a sharp eye on that as it moved to the southeast, that we might have to be kind of concerned about western, southern Greene County and Cocke County. Indeed, we do need to be concerned because a new tornado warning has just been issued for the entire county of Cocke County, as well as the eastern part of Jefferson County, southeastern Hamlin County, and also southern Greene County in northeast Tennessee. This warning continues in effect until 8 o'clock this evening. National Weather Service Storm Track Doppler radar indicating a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado, and as of 8 o'clock, or as of, I should say, the warning's until 8 o'clock, but as of the last report from the National Weather Service, the dangerous part of the storm that might have a tornado was located near White Pine, or about 7 miles northeast of Dandridge, moving to the southeast at 40 miles per hour. So until 8 o'clock, we do have a tornado warning now that is affecting the southern part of Greene County and also Cocke County. So here's where the possible tornado is right now, near White Pine, and it's moving to the southeast at 35 to 40 miles per hour. And notice that does now impact the western and southern parts of Greene County as this line of storms continues to move to the southeast. Why don't we go ahead and do a little track on this and see what areas that could be impacted in Cocke County and Greene County with that storm right now as it pushes off to the southeast at about 40 miles per hour. So this is from here to here in about an hour, and the little dots represent communities and towns along the path of this storm. So White Pine, basically right now where the tornado is indicated, also Bainbury around 717, Parrottsville, and also Caney Branch right here along the Greene and Cocke County line. We're talking around 720 or 722 as we head toward the St. James area. The St. James area and Caney Branch real close together here in Greene County. The Newport around 723, and Allenstand about 738. So at this point, it doesn't appear that Greenville is in this tornado warning, but it's a good idea when you have a storm that close that you are prepared and in your place that you would seek shelter for a tornado warning just in case we see perhaps some development off to the east. But at this point, it does not appear Greenville is in that tornado warning, but definitely the southern and western third of the county is, and does include much of Cocke County as well. So take cover now in those areas, as well as you can see this storm continuing to kind of increase in intensity and then decrease in intensity, but definitely a flare up here on our hail tracker. This is the Johnson County storm currently, and our hail tracker is indicating up to and maybe a little bit larger than quarter size hail potentially with that storm as it moves through Johnson County between now and the next half hour, and would then take it into Ashe County. So we could expect maybe some large hail into the western part of Ashe County near Creston, and clipping also the northern part of Watauga County in North Carolina as well. That tornado warning continues in effect for Johnson County until until 7:30, and it does appear we got a new severe thunderstorm warning for the storm that is now moving into the eastern part of Johnson County. So, kind of a complex issue here. We've got a tornado warning for Johnson County and also a severe thunderstorm warning for the part of Johnson County that was not under the tornado warning, and that is the eastern part of Johnson County until 7:45, and that bumps up to the North Carolina border. Of course, there's northern Watauga and Ashe, so I wouldn't be at all surprised as this storm continues to move eastward that we see some kind of warning being necessary in Ashe and also Watauga counties. But currently, Mountain City is getting slammed with a heavy storm at this hour. Could be some quarter-size hail, maybe some damaging thunderstorm winds. There's Cold Spring, there's Holly Hill, there's Mountain City, and this extends all the way now into the western part of Ashe County. There's Parker, Ashland, and Creston, and this whole storm continues to move in this direction. So I would say the higher probability of the heavy rain, obviously, and the hail is right here along Highway 4, US Highway 421, extending to near Mountain City, and this part of the storm that could have the tornado still looks to be in this general area right here near the Mountain City area, though since a warning was issued, a severe thunderstorm warning was issued for the rest of Johnson County, perhaps that is where it will go to from that tornado warning at 7:30. Not sure if it will be reissued as a tornado warning, but certainly the potential for severe weather is in Johnson County right now and extending and will be moving through parts of Watauga, northern Watauga, and a good part of Ashe County here over the next half hour or so. Let's take a regional view here. We've been looking at kind of a couple of cells over the past half hour or so that have been of main concern. But as we look upstream, we've, of course, got the severe thunderstorms moving through extreme northeast Tennessee. This line of storms that has the entire length of these storms stretching from near Morristown, and then the warning issued for southern Greene County. From that area all the way back westward, all of these have tornado warnings with them currently. So these are moving into the Knoxville area as well. So this dangerous situation keeps going on and on. As I look upstream, though, thankfully, there are still some isolated showers and thunderstorms developing back across Kentucky. At this time, they don't have any warnings with them. So the area of danger here for us locally may actually be within the next hour or two. And then as this shifts to the south, where we just had a new tornado watch issued not too long ago, which does include much of the Piedmont area back into the mountains of North Carolina, this is probably where the focus of the severe weather will be shifting within an hour or two. So as that continues to track southeastward, maybe we'll be able to have a bit of a sigh of relief. Hopefully nothing severe develops upstream. Cannot rule that out at this point, but at least I am somewhat encouraged as to what we see developing back to the northwest at this hour. So right now, tornado warning for Greene County as well as parts of Johnson County in northeast Tennessee, and I'm going to throw it back to Storm Track meteorologist David Boyd for some more information.
Just want to let our viewers know, if you lose power, you can listen to our continuous coverage on FM 94. They are streaming our coverage live there on the radio. Let's go back to Storm Track 5 Doppler radar, and we still have the tornado warning that's in effect for Washington County, Virginia, eastern Sullivan County, and Johnson County until 7:30. But as we look at radar, it looks like the most intense cell is in, or rather two intense cells. One is in Washington County, Virginia, and another is over Mountain City at this time. So I don't see any severe weather occurring in Sullivan County except maybe extreme northeastern Sullivan County near Offset. That would be the main concern there. But still a tornado warning in effect for about 10 more minutes. And we'll go back to our hail zone. Looks like the hail has increased in size around Mountain City to around, between quarter-size hail and half-dollar size hail. So that's an intense storm that we're watching, and also more activity back down to the south and west. As we take a look down to the south and west at that tornado warning that's in effect near Morristown, the warning does include portions of Greene County, including around Warrensburg, Caney Branch, and St. James, but it does look like the most intense portion of the storm is still near a White Pine, going to be near Morristown, so it's still yet to arrive in Greene County at this time. So once again, to recap the warnings, The tornado warning is in effect for Greene County and most of extreme southwestern Greene County, not including Greenville, and most of Cott County until 8 p.m. And tornado warning for Washington County, Virginia, Johnson County until 7:30, and extreme eastern Johnson County in a severe thunderstorm warning until 7:45. Now we're going to go over to PJ and Julie with the latest information on the storm reports coming in. It sounds like we have a lot of damage around the region.
Well, you're certainly right about that, Dave, but we do have a programming note for our viewers. Obviously, we are having continuing coverage of this severe weather event. So you're not watching American Ninja right now because of that, and we hope you understand. There are a lot of folks out there in danger, a lot of damage to report, and a lot of folks counting on us to keep them safe.
That's right, and we are going to stay on the air until these storm warnings have cleared and we feel like the danger has passed. Until then, we are going to continue to bring you updated reports, including reports from all of our reporters that we have scattered throughout the region. And really, we have put all hands on deck for this event. Our entire weather team is here. Almost our entire news staff is here. And we have reporters in pretty much every corner of this storm. Yeah,
we had Callan Gray live. She was live at Rock Springs Road, which is just outside of Kingsport, where a house was torn apart. Then Rebecca Pepin showed us a neighborhood, Wilshire neighborhood, near Highway 36 in Gray, where another neighborhood was just torn apart, a roof ripped off, a camper destroyed. And David talked about the hail, you know, golf ball size hail, even tennis ball size hail in some places. I'm out of
You're out of analogies?
Now, but, I mean, that is really, yeah, it's really nothing to laugh about, because if hail that size can do a lot of damage, not only to your car, but your home, your roof. So we just want people to be alert for that. And we are working to get Kyle Benjamin live. He'll be live with us in just a second. He's in Johnson City, where he's found some stuff there.
Yeah, we've also heard from Preston Ayers this evening, driving around, showing us the damage in Gray. We also want to let you know, just a reminder about a blocked exit. If you're on Interstate 26 or live around that area, exit 10, if you're heading from Kingsport into Johnson City, there are some trees down in the road there. That area is kind of a mess. You want to stay out of that if you can. And as a matter of fact, stay off the roads in general altogether. If you can stay home, then do that.
And we do have some hail pictures if our producers got those ready. Steve Lacey, if you can pop those up for us, because we do want to pass those along from our viewers. If we have those ready, I guess
yeah, you can also find those on our Facebook page.
Yeah, a lot of these came from Facebook. Just to go through these hail pictures, just enormous size of hail, which is really unusual to have it this big. Dave talks about it all the time, but when you see it that big, it's when you put it in perspective, it's just hard to imagine that just falls out of the sky and can really do a lot of damage. So we appreciate all our viewers sending in all the pictures and all the videos that you've sent in. Just continue to send those in, and we'll put them on the air here.
That's right. With sort of our field meteorologists on the ground. Those pictures come from you. We certainly appreciate that. You can get to us through any of our social media outlets, as well as our webpage, WCYB.com.
Yeah. That's it for us right now, but we're going to head back to Dave in the Weather Center for the latest. Hi, Dave.
Hey guys, thanks for that report. Definitely still concerned for severe weather across the area at this hour. A new thunderstorm warning has been issued moments ago. We were pretty confident that warnings would be necessary for Watauga and also Ashe County in North Carolina. And it's not a tornado warning, thankfully, but it is a severe thunderstorm warning. This will be in effect until 8:15 this evening for the northern part of Watauga and much of central and southern portions of Ashe County. Storm Track 5 Doppler radar indicating the severe storm that's been near Mountain City is still tracking eastward through the county, Johnson County, and now moving into the northern part of Watauga County and a good portion of Ashe County in North Carolina. Up to 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail possible with this storm as it moves southeast at 35 miles per hour. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 8:15 this evening for northern part of Watauga County and a good portion of Ashe County in North Carolina. Here is the heaviest part of that storm presently, has just about ready to move east of Mountain City, at least the core of the heavier part of this storm, and is now affecting a good part of western Ashe County and extreme northern part of Watauga County at this hour. That severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 8:15. I believe we can take a look at the storm or the hail tracker with this, and there still is a zone that could get larger than quarter-size hail, or at least up to quarter-size hail, as this storm moves from Johnson County into areas of Watauga, especially extreme northern Watauga County, and into southern Ashe County. So this appears to be the zone that would have the larger hail potential as this storm continues to move into North Carolina. There's Lansing, there's West Jefferson, Othello is right there. So largely it looks like rural sections here of Ashe County where the hail would be the largest. There's Trade and Zionville, there's Peoria, so maybe the hail would stay away from some of the communities, but certainly is impacting. There's Todd, though. That could be in line for some of this quarter-size hail. This storm has a tornado warning with it in Johnson County still, but is now moving into the area where the severe thunderstorm warning is in effect as we head through the next little while. This tornado warning for eastern Sullivan, Johnson County, that expires about at 7:30, so a few more minutes on that, and we can say that it would be safe to assume that the tornado potential is dying down. But yet still for a few minutes, this storm that's been moving from Abingdon into eastern Sullivan County and also near Damascus, that storm still has a tornado warning with it, and will continue to be a tornado warning with it until about 7:24. In addition to those storm reports of large hail that we've been discussing, and even a couple of tornado reports already coming into the Storm Track 5 Weather Center, there's some very heavy amounts of rain that have been falling with this as well. At this time, the only flood advisories in effect outside of our viewing area, back across Claiborne County and then along the northern part of the Cumberland Plateau in East Tennessee. Here are some of the storm reports that we've gotten so far. This is preliminary and early, but 2-inch diameter hail near Dryden here in Lee County, 2.5-inch diameter hail near Pennington Gap. That was around 5 o'clock. That's when things started really getting pretty active. In Duffield, some wind damage around 5:12. Also some wind damage in the Church Hill area of Hawkins County. 1.75 inches. We're talking some golf ball size hail reported 3 miles west of Kingsport. And also some wind damage in the Kingsport area. Numerous reports of some wind damage in the Kingsport area. Rock Springs, for example, where Callan Gray has been. We've had definite structural almost completely blown away, or at least very severe damage to a home there. Other reports of severe weather in northern Washington County. Notice the green dot there. Actually is hail, golf ball size hail near Gray, and that was reported around 5:53 this evening. But you can track these storms. They started really intensifying over southeast Kentucky. We broke in with a tornado warning initially for Leslie County, and that stayed, at least the tornado warning stayed in effect all the way as it came through southwest Virginia, northeast Tennessee, and this is the storm now that is now pushing into Watauga and Ashe County. But that storm has had a tornado warning with it ever since it developed in Clay and Leslie County in Kentucky, and it does appear that storm has weakened enough that we just have a severe thunderstorm warning with it in Watauga and Ashe County. So those are the preliminary storm reports that we have currently. A tornado watch remains in effect for much of the area, including all of the northeast Tennessee counties within the viewing area until 8 o'clock, also much of southwest Virginia. At this point in time, we don't have a watch in effect for Tazewell, Smith, or Grayson in Virginia, but it does now. A new watch does cover all of western North Carolina, the mountains extending back toward the Charlotte area, the Greensboro, Winston-Salem area, and still a number of these cells back to the west of the Tri-Cities, producing some tornado warnings as well. And one of those counties that is impacted is the western and southern parts of Greene County. A tornado warning is in effect for this area as well as Cott County. That tornado warning in effect through, what time does that warning expire? At 8 o'clock. So for Jefferson, Cocke, and Greene counties, and until 8 o'clock, there's a tornado warning in effect as we continue to monitor pretty strong to severe line of storms extending from near western Greene County all the way back to the Knoxville area, and along that entire line of storms there is now a tornado warning in effect along that line of storms. Most of this, with the exception of what is clipping the southern and western parts of Greene County and Cott County, I think this is going to start sliding to the south of the viewing area here over the next half hour. But folks in southern western Greene County as well as Cott County should be still seeking shelter as this tornado warning continues in effect for about another half hour or so. Currently, we do have now, I think, some news from the news desk. Julie Newman and PJ, some new information.
Yeah, we do, Dave. In fact, we've got Kyle Benjamin out roaming around. He's near Johnson City. Yeah,
we're going to tune in with him in just a bit, but we want to remind you about our coverage here. We are staying on the air as long as necessary until the danger passes. Preempting right now American Ninja, which started at 7 o'clock. we apologize for that, but we feel that this is the right thing to do.
Yeah, some things are more important than television or baseball games or sports, but like weather coverage, and especially severe weather coverage. As we mentioned, Kyle Benjamin live near Johnson City. Let's join him now live via FaceTime. Hi, Kyle. What can you tell us?
Road outside. Roof, metal roof. Further in this there's a lot of
All right, obviously we're having some audio technical difficulties, but as you can see, there was damage there along that road where Kyle was standing near Johnson City.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage in that area right now. We have a lot of reports in the Kingsport and Johnson City area of trees down. We do know that on Interstate 26 near Exit 10, there's some trees blocking the road there. So it's definitely some dangers with this storm. We're still advising people to seek shelter, stay indoors. Safety is the #1 concern right now.
I think a good question to ask Dave Dirks right now is, Dave, you've had a chance to track this storm and you see what's behind it. How much longer do you think this storm event will last for our area?
I would say the concern will last for another hour or so before the tornado potential probably drops off quite a bit. The tornado warnings that were in effect for that storm that came through the Johnson City, the Gray, the Rock Spring, the Kingsport area, that no longer has a tornado warning with it, but does have a severe thunderstorm warning in northern Watauga and also Ashe County in North Carolina. The other area of concern is sliding to the south and west of the Tri-Cities. It does have a tornado warning with it for the western and southern part of Greene County. Does not include the Greenville area, but does include areas to the west from Newport, Tennessee, back toward the Knoxville area. All of these storm cells right through here do have tornado warnings with them as they settle to the southeast pretty quickly at about 35 miles per hour. So with that said, this will continue to pull south of us as we go through the next hour or so. And then as we look upstream, we would be looking into Kentucky if we were going to see some more severe weather potential. And that potential to the northwest does not appear to be as great as it was, you know, an hour or two ago when we did have a lot of severe thunderstorms developing in southeast Kentucky. But there are some isolated cells developing still back to the northwest. But this certainly is the main concern as we travel through the next hour and in the Tri-Cities area. And a large part of that obviously has already pushed through the Johnson City area, also has pushed through the Bristol area, and has pushed through the Kingsport area. But still some stormy weather, some concern for severe weather yet here into the mountains of Tennessee, North Carolina, and then extending from the western part of Greene County all the way back toward the Knoxville vicinity, and then back along and north of Interstate 40 here in eastern portions of Tennessee. These storms have had a history of producing some large hail and also some damaging winds, and at least one report of a tornado that we have been able to confirm right now. But at this point in time, we're keeping a close eye on new development. But at this time, nothing seems to be developing upstream that would be severe heading back into the Tri-Cities. So hopefully, once the current warnings expire, that may be the end of the main concern for severe weather. But I do understand now that we have some more information from Julie and PJ. Let's go back to the news desk.
Thank you very much, Dave. You're doing a great job, by the way. As we showed you earlier, Rebecca Pepin was in a neighborhood near Gray, Tennessee that was really hit hard by storms, and she's going to show us more.
Yeah, we've seen some absolute destruction there. At least one home is completely destroyed there. Let's go now live to Rebecca Pepin via FaceTime. Hey, Rebecca.
Hey guys, that's right. I'm going to show you a little bit of damage here in the Wiltshire neighborhood off Highway 36. I showed you some earlier, but now we've walked several blocks. Let me turn the camera around here. This is someone's deck. This came from this house here. Then these poor folks had a ton of trees down, and they've already been out cleaning it up. How are you?
Oh, doing okay.
Yeah, oh my gosh, you've been busy cleaning this whole street. Tell me your name.
My name's Matt Curry.
Matt Curry. Okay, I'm gonna, as you're talking, I'm just gonna pan over here, but tell me, you guys obviously went right to work. How many trees were down here?
Well, there was two large ones right here that were out in the road. and then we have some on the other side of our house down, took off the shingles on the far side of the house. Of course, ripped up all this vinyl fencing, right? But we were huddled in our basement. You know, we felt the doors shaking. But apparently, a tornado came over the hillside here, took out all the barns along Free Hill Road.
And that's where Kyle Benjamin is standing by live as well. And tell me about, you guys have had chainsaws out here and everything.
Yeah, since it broke, you know, all the power lines down, so all this traffic coming through here and it was blocking the road. So neighbors came over and helped. We got all these trees cut up and out of the way, but it's still backing up traffic a little bit.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, thank you so much,
Thank
and good
you.
luck to you. My goodness, I'm just going to show you this, guys, because check it out what a community can do when they come together. There have been pieces of fence and trees down, and look at all this. They have gotten to work, put their hands together, and they've chopped down a bunch of trees, brought them off the road because apparently we're blocking the roadway at some points, and they've made a big difference. I'm going to send it back to you guys in the studio, and we'll go look for some more damage so we can send it back to you.
Yeah, Rebecca brings up a good point there about the community coming together and really helping each other out. I mean, that's exactly what you do in times like this, is band together.
Again, that was the Wilshire neighborhood near Highway 36 in Gray, Tennessee. Boy, those folks have a lot of work to do. Speaking of a lot of work to do, back to Dave in the Storm Track 5 Weather Center. Hi, Dave.
Yeah, we still may have some work to do. We were talking about the severe potential beyond this line coming through the Tri-Cities area right now. We just got some information from the Storm Prediction Center that they may indeed be issuing a watch for some of this development upstream here in the Ohio Valley and extending through western and also into central and northern portions of Kentucky. We're beginning to see a couple of these storm cells producing severe thunderstorm warnings. So we'll have to monitor this area, I think, in particular here over the next hour. If this continues to strengthen and consolidate into perhaps a larger area of storms, we may not be completely through with the severe potential. So we do want to tell our viewers that that is a potential as we go through the next several hours. At this point, there is a severe thunderstorm warning with this cell in northeastern portions of Kentucky, and some new isolated showers and storms are beginning to develop, but this actually just happened here within the past 15 minutes to a half an hour, and so we could definitely see these grow into something a little stronger over the next couple of hours. So a watch may be necessary or extended potentially as we go into the evening hours. The current tornado watch, which does include all of the viewing area, including Tazewell, Smith, and Grayson counties. Now, that watch will remain in effect until the one for Grayson and Smith and Tazewell counties until 1 a.m., as well as the one for western North Carolina, that until 1 a.m., but the one for northeast Tennessee and southwest Virginia, that particular tornado watch will remain in effect until 8 o'clock this evening. However, I say that, but also, keeping in mind that the Storm Prediction Center is saying a new watch may become necessary if those thunderstorms popping now in portions of Kentucky, if they continue to intensify. We may be looking at another possibility of some severe weather later this evening. Present time, though, the severe thunderstorm warning continues in effect for eastern Johnson County, much of Ashe County, northern Watauga County until 7:45 this evening, and still a tornado warning in effect for western areas of southern and western areas of Greene County, as well as Cott County. This particular tornado warning is in effect until 8 o'clock this evening. Let's go to Storm Track 5 Doppler radar and investigate how this storm is kind of holding together now in western Greene County. You can see the showers do extend toward the Greenville area. Certainly, just by looking at the reflectivity, we do have some downpours here around Caney Branch, along Highway 321 there, and St. James. And then as we head back to the west, the heavier, the darker, the red, the purples and so forth, that's where the heaviest rain is presently. So as we pull back and track this in time over the next half hour or so, it looks like the line will continue to shift down to the southeast at about 35 to 40 miles per hour, at least where the most intense part of the storm, which kind of begins here in western Greene County and then extends toward the Newport area. So that tracks southeastward, and through about 7:39 we can expect that into the Parrottsville vicinity. Caney Branch around 7:45. I know there's some rain already in these areas, but this is the area of concern, it would seem, as far as the potential for a tornado at this point in time. Though St. James around 7:47, Hartford around 7:53, Hot Springs around 8:03, Allenstand around 8:05, and Walnut Hill around 8:12. Right, here's the current time at 7:38. That tornado warning, though, will continue in effect for much of Cott County and the western southern parts of Greene County until about 8 o'clock this evening. Here's our latest hail tracker that we can show you, just kind of a broad view. Notice one thing kind of important here, the hail tracker with the storm that has been moving through Ashe and Watauga County. It seems, at least from our particular perspective, our Doppler radar perspective, that the hail potential has really diminished with that storm in Ashe and Watauga counties. However, also we're seeing the possibility of at least some small hail in western Greene County, here near the Caney Branch and St. James area, up toward Warrensburg. Notice this does not include the Mossheim or Greenville area, but there are some showers in this area. But some small hail would be possible here over the next half hour, probably less than half-inch diameter hail as this storm cell moves across western and southern Greene County and also to near Parrottsville in Cott County. As we expand back to the west a little bit, shift a little bit to the west, it does appear the larger hail would be potentially occurring over the next little while to the northeast of Knoxville near Mascot and to near Jefferson City and then to near Dandridge. That line of showers and storms is pushing to the southeast at around 35 miles per hour. So it would seem that the severe threat now is shifting to the far southern part of the viewing area here over the next 20 minutes or so. That tornado warning will remain in effect for this area of Cott County and also western and southern portions of Greene County. So showers and thunderstorms continuing to move across this area. Some lighter rains now in the Greenville vicinity, but the heavier part of this cluster of storms does seem to be further back to the west near Dandridge, even really further to the west than Newport, with the heavier rain and possible severe weather more likely near into the south of Jefferson, heading toward Sevierville. There's Mascot, and then back toward the Knoxville vicinity. That's all we have right now from the Storm Track 5 Weather Center for now. We're going to throw it over now to Julie and PJ.
Hi, Davey. Thank you very much. As we've asked our viewers to send us pictures and send us video, boy, did they ever.
They sure did. You know, we have told you there are some confirmed tornadoes in our area. This comes to us from a viewer. We're not exactly sure where this was taken, but look at that. You can definitely see the rotation of that funnel cloud right there. It's amazing video.
Now, that tornado is not on the ground very long, but can you imagine when that hits the ground and your house is in the way, something has to give, and it's usually the house.
It's not going to be in the way for long. Yeah, we've seen a lot of that damage so far today from our reporters on the ground. Some homes in our area completely destroyed, and parts of homes destroyed. Decks, campers, trees, property. Certainly a lot of damage. Now, this is fantastic viewer footage. We certainly appreciate it. And we would encourage any of you out there, if you have pictures or video and you want to send it to us, we'd really appreciate that through our social media outlets, on our website, WCYB.com.
Yeah, we've already had great pictures of the hail damage and some of the giant pieces of hail that fell from the sky, as well as a couple of videos of twisters in the air. Scary stuff. It
is pretty scary, and this is a very strong system. That's why we've chosen to stay with you in our continuous coverage. We want to make sure everyone out there stays safe, gets the updated information you need, and we're going to stay with you until Dave Dirks tells us that that danger has passed.
Speaking of Dave Dirks, let's head back to the Weather Center and see what he's tracking. Hey, Dave.
Yeah, we're continuing to track showers and thunderstorms, obviously. The main danger with a thunderstorm, obviously, is going to be the possibility of a tornado or damaging thunderstorm winds. At this time, the only tornado warning that is impacting our viewing area is the western and southern parts of Greene County and also into Cott County in northeast Tennessee. This tornado warning in effect until 8 o'clock this evening, so roughly another 15 minutes or so. We'll have to keep an eye on those showers and storms moving through Greene County and Cott County. It does appear from the perspective of radar that the more intense part of this line of storm is actually in this zone where a new severe thunderstorm warning has just been issued for the Smoky Mountain area. As we zoom in a little tighter here, there's Knoxville, there's Newport, there's Morristown, there's Greenville. As this storm continues to head southward, new severe thunderstorm warning has just been issued for Sevier County as well as for parts of Jefferson County until 8:30. But back to the west, these storms still have tornado warnings with them from near the Knoxville area back to the west, and it does appear that these are going to be settling southward and not necessarily the stronger part of these storms, not necessarily affecting areas of Greene County, but still you are under a severe thunderstorm warning in about a western, let's say southern third there of the county right here. That would include the Caney Branch area, also St. James up toward Warrensburg, does not include the Mossheim area, does not include Greenville, but does get very close to Camp Creek. It does include Allenstan, this tornado warning, until 8 o'clock this evening. But areas to the north, while we do have some rain, it does appear that the severe threat is confined mainly to the southern part of the county and also into Cott County. And then especially as you move back west on the west side of this line of storms is where the more intense weather is, where the higher probability of damaging thunderstorm winds. See the little Boeing structure of our line here. Could be some strong winds coming down in advance of this line of storms heading toward the Sevierville area, for example, in Sevier County, and also heading eventually toward Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. So going to be a little rough weather heading to one of our favorite vacation spots, right? Hopefully things will not get terribly out of hand like we've seen in some of our viewing area with some of that damage. But nonetheless, this is the area that is the strongest at this point in time, and is extending from the Knoxville area to near Newport and also into the Greene County area. We do have that tornado warning in effect until 8 o'clock. Until 8 o'clock this evening. Regarding the storm that is further to the north, in Ashe and Watauga counties of North Carolina, a severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for these areas. I think it's fairly safe to say that we can say that Johnson County no longer has the potential for severe weather, but we did get some really intense weather through Mountain City not too long ago. The heavier part of the storm is really in Ashe County. It does appear that the Watauga part of this warning, Watauga County part of this warning, doesn't appear too much is going on right here. So this is probably an all clear call now for Watauga County, at least for now. I mean, there could be more storms later this evening, but regarding the severe thunderstorm warning that currently is in effect, there is a storm in the northern, well, let's say the central part of Ashe County, right to the near and to the northwest of Jefferson, settling to the southeast also. And this storm has definitely shown signs of weakening over the past half hour, but it is this storm that brought the wind damage, possible tornadoes to the Gray area, the Johnson City, the Kingsport area, those storm reports that we're getting of the wind damage. It is this storm cell that has produced possible tornadoes in the past, but at this time does not seem to be doing so, and that's some good news. But still some heavy rain and possible small hail now affecting parts of Ashe County in North Carolina. Julie and PG, I'm going to throw it back to you for some more.
All right, thanks so much, Dave. It's hard to tell just how long these these storms are going to be brewing in our area.
They certainly are. But I mean, as Dave says, one thing forms in Kentucky and just kind of meanders its way down through Virginia and Tennessee. You just one right out. It's kind of like a bowling pin thing or a domino effect. It just one turns into the other. Yeah,
and of course some areas are hit harder than others. Some get the direct impact of that bowling ball. Some get the pins that scatter. Yeah.
Let's kind of recap what we've done so far, because we've had reporters all over the place. We've seen Rebecca Pepin near Gray in the Wilshire neighborhood, which was really roughed up there with houses torn up and trees knocked down. And our viewers have sent a lot of hail pictures as well. We can't really look at these enough because it's just so amazing the size of these hail balls.
Yeah, and it comes down so quickly. And these things develop high up in the atmosphere, and they sort of collect and grow. You can see that some of them look like they've been sort of bunched together there.
They really do. I mean, our viewers have done a great job sending these in, and certain places in the market got a lot bigger hail stones than
Yeah.
others.
Show us our props here again, PJ. Some of these hail.
Yeah. We've had as big as this, which is a tennis ball. A baseball is just a little bit bigger than that. Imagine if that hit you.
Not just that, but
yeah,
hundreds of those
all at once.
pelting your house or your car.
Most of the area got, like this, like a golf ball sized piece of hail. So either one of those can do a lot of damage to your car. So and we do have some video that we want to show again because a viewer sent this in. Just tremendous. As you can watch this tornado make its way right through. It looks like a field and nothing in the way there, thank goodness. But goodness gracious, can you imagine if that was coming right at you?
Yeah, we certainly appreciate this viewer sent picture. That funnel cloud was very distinctive there. You could definitely see the tornado touching the ground. And we know that there have been several tornadoes reported throughout the area, done a lot of damage. We've had houses down, we've had property destroyed, we've had trees down. It's a very powerful storm today.
We had Cal and Gray live at Rock Springs Road, which is just outside Kingsport, between Gray and Kingsport. And the house there was really just torn to bits. And the interstate exit there at 10 had some trees across. Yeah. That whole area there really got hit hard by the storms.
Yeah, and we heard Rebecca Pepin talking with a viewer whose deck had been blown essentially off the house and towards the neighbor's house. And she said that the neighbors just rallied. They all brought out their chainsaws and their hands and their gloves and worked to clean the road, clear the road so that the cars could pass and get that tree cut down. And really, it's just inspiring to hear about that community spirit.
I have some friends that live in that Wilshire neighborhood. I hope they're okay over there. So I'm sure they're cleaning up as well tonight.
Yeah, that's a good point, though, PJ. We haven't had any reports of injuries so far. We hope, obviously, we hope everyone is okay out there. There have been not many reports of power outages and not many reports of injuries with this storm.
Yeah. For now, that's it for us. We're going to head back to Dave in the Weather Center and see what he's tracking. Dave, how much longer do you think this is going to last?
Well, we're beginning to see the end of this line of storms starting to wind down a little bit. All of the warnings have expired for the Tri-Cities immediate area where we did numerous tornado warnings earlier this evening. Until 8 o'clock, though, we're still keeping a sharp eye on western southern parts of Greene County as well as Cott County, northeast Tennessee. A tornado warning continues for these areas until about 8 o'clock. We're talking for about another 10 minutes or so, that tornado warning continuing. Tornado warnings and or severe thunderstorm warnings then extend all the way back to the west toward the Knoxville area as well. A severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 8 o'clock for Sevier County, for example, and the greater Knoxville area, Anderson County under a tornado warning right now until 8:30 this evening. Also until 8:15 there is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the northern part of Watauga and also Ashe County in North Carolina. Currently, though, as we check out Storm Track Doppler and the hail zone, or hail tracker, I should say, it does not appear that the storm in Ashe County is producing large hail anymore. That is some good news. Still, though, could be some small hail moving across the southern part of Greene County, staying mainly to the south of Greenville. Could be possibly some pea-sized hail near Caney Branch and then extending eastward to just south of Camp Creek. And then the larger hail with this area of storms more off to the west, where there actually is some sizable hail probably currently ongoing now just to the south of Jefferson City. So from near Mascot up to 3/4 inch diameter hail, penny-sized hail extending perhaps toward the Dandridge area over the next little while. Then there's Bainbury and there's White Pine. So this is pushing off to the east. That would be pushing into Cott County, and there could be another round of some heavy rain and perhaps some hail moving into the Newport region as well. And we want to keep you informed of what may develop later on this evening as well. These Tornado Watch, which does include now all of the Storm Track 5 viewing area and also into western North Carolina, into Grayson, Smith, and Tazewell counties as well. A tornado watch has been continued or extended until 1 o'clock. The watch that covers most of northeast Tennessee and southwest Virginia and also into Kentucky, that watch is in effect until 8 p.m. However, as I had mentioned last time when we were talking, that the Storm Prediction Center is indicating they're keeping an eye on this area of storminess. It's developing to our northwest, and there are a couple of warnings in effect with those storms, and it's possible that we'll see an extension of some kind of watch if those continue to intensify. So we may not be completely safe, even as the severe storms that have been moving through our area here over the past several hours, as they exit, we'll just have to continue to monitor monitor the activity back to the northwest. All right, let's head over to the news desk again with Julie Newman and PJ Johnson.
All right, thanks so much, Dave. We're actually going to check back in with News 5 WCYB's Rebecca Pepin. She's out there in the Wilshire neighborhood, that's near Gray, Tennessee in Washington County. Lots of damage there, and I'm sure she has another interview lined up for us.
In fact, she has found the chainsaw crew, and it sounds like they could use a chainsaw, Rebecca.
Absolutely. You guys survey the damage just one more time to give you kind of a context as to what we're looking at. So you guys don't have to duck. People don't want to be on camera out here. Okay, so we're on Brittany Drive right now, and this is one side of the street. All right, and then if you head to the other side of the street, you're going to and I'm going to head over to the chainsaw because they are busy working. This gentleman said he planted trees 14 years ago. They're pear trees, and he's lost every single one of the trees in his yard. No damage to the house, but he has lost every single tree. Mr. Ramsey has a chainsaw crew out here. They're hard at work, and he's going to chat with us just a little bit. Mr. Ramsey, tell me what you heard out here and what happened.
Actually, didn't hear anything. We were in our neighbor's basement.
Thankfully.
Yes, thankfully. He was at a church party, and I called and said, "Can we use your house?" He said, "Sure." So we were into there, and it went through. We came out, and we saw that. So we didn't really hear anything.
How many trees do you think you've lost, Ramsey?
I've got 3 pear trees in this area that are down. I've got 1 river birch over there. I've got at least 2 cypress trees in the back. And so I'd say close to 9 or 10.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, we're going to check out the chainsaw crew over here. They kind of took a break. It looks like it. And this pup lives next door. He's wondering where the bathroom now. Oh, these were my favorite trees. All right, guys, more teamwork. These chainsaws were fired up just moments ago. We have video of that. We're going to bring it back to the studio. We'll see you in a few minutes. I'm a bit of a drowned rat. But thankfully, the good news, guys, out here is the most important thing. I'm showing you a lot of damage, but it's all property damage. No one was hurt out here, and that's what we like to hear. I'm going to send it back to you with those happy words.
Happy words indeed. Absolutely. Safety is the most important thing. Trees can be replanted, right?
They certainly can. It's great to see those people pull together in the neighborhood and take everything.
Okay, we are going to take a look at some video now. This came in from our photographer. You can see the tornado funnel cloud forming right there behind the trees. This comes from Keith Roberts. He's a member of our staff here, one of our crew.
That looks like really the same tornado that the viewers sent us. I mean, it's basically from a different angle.
Different angle, yeah, exactly. Look at the power of that, though. Oh, we've just been told that's actually a different tornado than what we saw before. Obviously, there have been more than one that have touched down in our area today. It'll be interesting to get the report from the National Weather Service once all this wraps up of how many touched down in our region.
You see it like grow in size there as it takes out a power line and just knocks out the electricity.
Wow.
Bam, just like that. Knocked out the electricity and knocked out the picture at the same time.
Yeah, that's such a powerful storm today. Wow. We've really taken a hit today in our region.
Great job by Keith Roberts out there with Callan Gray shooting that video of a tornado. Wow.
Yeah, we've had team coverage today on all fronts.
Recently, though, for the Tri-Cities, it's been a real rough couple of hours for many areas that have seen some strong winds, possible tornadoes, and even some large hail. At this time, no severe thunderstorm or tornado warnings in effect for the immediate Tri-Cities area. However, I am keeping an eye to the northwest of some new storms that are beginning to develop across portions of Kentucky. These storms, at least one of them, still is carrying a severe thunderstorm warning with it. This just to the south here of Cincinnati, east of Lexington. This storm continuing to move off to the east, but there are other showers and thunderstorms developing along this cold front that is marching off to the east, and we'll just have to wait and see if we have enough instability from left over that we could see this turn more severe than it is presently. It's a possibility, and it's something that we will be tracking very closely here over the next several hours. And the Storm Prediction Center is actually telling the Storm Track 5 weather team that it's possible that a watch will need to be extended as this continues to move our way. I want to let meteorologist David Boyd jump in here with some additional information. David?
Dave, we have some breaking weather news. A tornado watch is going to be reissued for most of the area until 2 a.m. So that information is still being ingested into our computer system. So we'll show you that graphically as soon as it comes in. But again, another tornado threat is possible later on tonight because there's another piece of the puzzle, another storm system coming in from the northwest that could produce some more severe weather. So again, we will be seeing a new tornado watch in effect until 2 a.m. and it looks like it is going to include northeast Tennessee and southwest Virginia. So again, we're going to show that graphically as soon as it comes in to our computer system. But just a heads up that they are looking at they will have a new tornado watch in effect. Just to recap the warnings that are in effect at this time, Ashe County still under a severe thunderstorm warning until 8:15, and the tornado warning for Cott County and Greene County looks to expire here right now. So we'll continue to monitor to see if they reissue anything. So at this time, Dave, the only severe warning in effect is a severe thunderstorm warning for Ashe County. Dave, back to you.
And that is some good news. All the tornado warnings for the present time have expired. The only warning, as David pointed out, is the one in Ashe County right here. However, other warnings continue now back toward the Great Smoky Mountains, Pigeon Forge, Sevierville, Gatlinburg, and also tornado warning continues back to the west toward the Knoxville area as well. All right, now our computer has ingested the new data that has just come in from the Storm Prediction Center, and this is the new tornado watch that will remain in effect until 2 a.m. And that is for these storms that are now developing here across areas of Kentucky, up through the eastern and northern eastern parts of Kentucky, and then new cells popping here also in southeastern areas of Kentucky, as these will be tracking off to the east-southeast rather quickly, like the predecessor that has come through our region. These storms at this point do not have warnings with them. However, they are just really starting to develop right now. And notice the discrete little cellular kind of nature to these storms. They may possibly develop into some supercell thunderstorms as well, which are the type of storms that will rotate and possibly cause tornadoes too. And that's similar to what we saw develop several hours ago in southeast Kentucky when the initial severe weather began and then has been pushing through our area. So this is an area that we will be continuing to track over the next several hours. In fact, the tornado watch, which does include northeast Tennessee, southwest Virginia, and southeast Kentucky, the new watch in effect until 2 a.m. In the morning. At this time, the severe weather is really confined to this initial area down to our south. However, we are monitoring this new development across portions of Kentucky. Do want to let you know that tornado watches do also include Grayson and Smith County in southwest Virginia until 1 a.m., as well as the mountains of North Carolina, the foothills, part of the western Piedmont area until about 2 o'clock this morning as well. But this is a new watch that is replacing the one that was set to expire at 8 o'clock this evening. This watch will remain in effect until 2 a.m. and covers all of northeast Tennessee, southwest Virginia, and also southeastern portions of Kentucky. At this point in time, though, the weather that had resulted in a tornado warning for Greene County and Cott County, that is now pushing, at least the severe threat is now pushing to the south of this region, and that's why the tornado warning is being allowed to expire. At this point has not been extended into North Carolina, but there are definitely some strong storms entering Madison County, for example. Also some rough weather at this time. No severe warning, but if your travel plans include Interstate 26 heading over Sam's Gap from Unicoi County into Madison County, North Carolina, for example, there are some intense rains occurring presently near Sam's Gap. At this time, from Flag Pond to Sam's Gap, we do not have a warning for that, but there could easily be some strong gusty winds and also some heavy rain and some dangerous lightning as well. So that activity is obviously pushing away from the Tri-Cities as still some heavy rain continues in the southern part of Greene County and also into Cott County. We can take a tour back up toward Ashe County, where that warning remains in effect in North Carolina until about 8:15. But as I look at this, this cell has just about fallen apart and is getting set to push out of Ashe County. So for, I think, all practical purposes, the warning for Ashe County is really not producing any more warning, any more severe weather at this time. So right now, I do believe we are going to throw it to meteorologist David Boyd with some additional information. David?
Thanks a lot, Dave. Been looking over the new watch that was issued for Northeast Tennessee, Southwest Virginia. The tornado watch now in effect until 2 a.m. And the Storm Prediction Center says that once again, the atmosphere is reloading. It's kind of incredible, but they say in the watch area that a few tornadoes are possible, again, in the whole area, and that the hail threat remains. We still could see more hailstones 2-inch diameter or maybe even larger, and isolated damaging wind gusts of up to 70 miles an hour. So we're getting a break right now. The only warning for the viewing area, Ashe County, but it looks like that storm has pretty much moved out. So we're getting a break for now, but there are more storms that are beginning to develop to our northwest in Kentucky. No warnings with them at this time, but they do have the potential to become severe as they head our way. So we will be monitoring that very closely. Just a reminder that when it's safe to do so, you can send us your viewer pictures and video. You can either email it to weather@wcyb.com or news@wcyb.com. You can post on our WCYB Storm Track 5 Facebook page, and you can upload and view more pictures on our website, wcyb.com. We're going to go back to the storm report graphic, and it was really incredible to watch this one storm produce large hail in Leslie County and also produce some wind damage. Then it moved into Harlan County, then into Lee County with some very large hail, 2.5 inches in diameter, and more hail near Dryden. Then it moved into Duffield, Church Hill, Kingsport, and Gray, and we're going to be getting more storm reports further down to the southwest, I expect, as the information comes in. So now we're going to go over to PJ and Julie with the latest information, guys.
All right, David Boyd, thank you very much. Again, we want to pass along that these storms have caused a lot of damage. And in fact, we have some video of one of those storms that caused damage, courtesy of our photographer, Keith Roberts.
Yeah, we've shown this to you before, but we really feel like this is showing again because it's so powerful. It's amazing that we were able to catch this on video because this moves so quickly through the area.
Now watch what happens though, because the storm will intensify and you'll see the funnel cloud actually gets bigger as Keith focuses on it. It will grow in size, and then when it hits the power lines, you can just see it rip those power lines right in two. It'll happen in just a second here, and you'll see the sparks fly. That is the intensity of that storm. You can see it is almost, there's the sparks. You see the storm's almost doubled in size there as it just rips out power lines as it goes. Of course, as Dave has explained before, the funnel cloud will pick up debris in that funnel cloud and it'll start swirling, and so it makes the storm even more dangerous.
Yeah, and that's not the only tornado that has touched down in this area. We've had several reports, eyewitness accounts of tornadoes in the area. We had a viewer send in video of a separate tornado as well. We got an alert here. This is the other video we saw. We got an alert from ETSU that they were sending out notice of a tornado sighting.
So these storms have most of the damage has happened in a relatively small area, though, I would say, between maybe Gray and Kingsport, where those storms were really intensified, and it spawned several little tornadoes like that touched down. And they don't have to be on the ground a very long time. You know, 30 seconds doesn't sound like a long time, but for a tornado to be on the ground for 30 seconds, it could do a lot of damage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it can rip through a lot of property in that time. And, you know, PJ, we're not out of the woods yet. Dave and the weather team have alerted us that we've had some extended warnings that are going through 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So certainly we all need to continue to stay alert and be aware that these storms are not over yet.
So let's head back to Dave and get the latest on that. It sounds like, Dave, we're going to have maybe a night of watches until, what, 2 a.m., I believe you said?
Yeah, the new tornado watch, guys, in effect until 2 o'clock in the morning. The watch that was in effect until 8 p.m. has been effectively extended until 2 o'clock in the morning. So we may not be completely, obviously, out of danger regarding the potential for severe weather during the course of the evening and the overnight hours. Certainly at this juncture, the heavier and more severe weather is with the system that has been moving through our area, now settling to the south of the Tri-Cities area. These new warnings here just popped on in the western part of North Carolina. No warnings now for northeast Northeast Tennessee or Southwest Virginia. Until about 8:15, the Ashe County area is still under a severe thunderstorm warning, but as I had mentioned just within the past few minutes, that storm has moved effectively, essentially out of Ashe County. So the severe weather there has come to an end in Ashe County. However, still some severe weather warnings here, including the possibility of a tornado with this cell in the Sevier County area of eastern Tennessee. Getting heavily hit now is the Sevierville area, moving to the southeast, and there is a tornado warning until about 8:15 for that cell. So Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg could get hit pretty hard here over the next half hour or so. Other storms are affecting the Knoxville area of East Tennessee. That storm is moving to the southeast as well. Tornado warnings have been in effect for the Knoxville area and continue, especially here west part of Knoxville. There's Powell and there's Farragut, Oak Ridge, right up to the Knoxville downtown area. You can see the center of Knoxville about right here. So this storm is going to be passing from near the center of Knoxville westward and extending down, and will be hitting Alcoa and Maryville, or at least getting close to those areas here over the next little while as well. Now, the concern as we go through the next several hours is what is beginning to develop across southeastern portions of Kentucky. Notice as we put on the cloud-to-ground lightning strikes, look at that tremendous amount of cloud-to-ground lightning with this line of storms heading through east central and east central Tennessee, including the Smokies. This activity here in southeastern Kentucky is producing some lightning, some cloud-to-ground lightning. Several of these storms are intensifying. This one up to the north along Interstate 64 actually has a severe thunderstorm warning with it. This would include the Moorhead area extending up toward Olive Hill. That storm is pushing to the southeast at a pretty good clip, as they all have during the course of the afternoon and also the evening. So as we continue our coverage and continue to track the potential for severe weather, this is the area that we'll have to keep an eye on as we go through the next several hours. This is why the Storm Prediction Center has extended the tornado watch for our area until 2 a.m. is for this new development across portions of Kentucky. That tornado watch in effect for a large part of eastern, northeastern Tennessee, nearly all again of southwest Virginia, and all of eastern and southeastern areas of Kentucky. That tornado watch in effect until 2 a.m. So it could be another long evening and into the early morning hours before we can safely say that the severe weather potential is over. So right now I'm going to give the reins here to meteorologist David Boyd. I think you have some new information for us.
Yes, we have a new storm report coming in. Looking at the National Weather Service information, a tornado was reported earlier today around Church Hill in Hawkins County. Emergency manager says that reports of a possible tornado touchdown in the Church Hill, Carter Valley areas, numerous trees and power lines down with moderate damage to some homes. So again, that was in the Church Hill and Carter Valley areas of Hawkins County. So we've been tracking some very intense storms throughout the region. Now we're going to go over to PJ and Julie with the latest information. Guys.
All right, guys, thank you very much. I guess it's worth mentioning again that we've had so much help from our viewers today.
Yeah, we certainly appreciate that. Oh, David Boyd is getting our attention over here. He's got more information. We'll bring that in just a minute. But as we were saying, it's so important that our viewers participate in this. Please send us your videos, send us your photos. Anything you can do to sort of be our eyes on the street, we'll get that out there. Just send it to us on our Facebook page. We have a Twitter account. Of course, we have our website, WCYB.com. So look forward to hearing from you.
We appreciate your patience. We appreciate everyone's hard work. For now, we are going to sign off. We are going to wrap up our coverage. And we're going to go join your regularly scheduled program. We'll see you tonight on Fox Tri-Cities News at 10 and on News 5 at 11. Until then, I'm Paul Johnson for Julie Newman. Have a good
We've been
night.
up here a long time.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
This is a Storm Track 5 severe weather alert.